All I need is Casual Labs chat. Cause I need the chat. Um, actually, what I need is multi-chat. So docs, multi-chat. And now I like you don't even need Casual Labs open. Alright. Uh, yeah. Alright. Let me minimize this a little bit so I can get that going. Minimize. Uh, I love technology. Alright. Let's let's read all messages and yeah, we should be up and ready to go. Alrighty. Wait, let me turn this up though. Make this bigger. And then we can pull YouTube chat on top. Alright, YouTube, I'm gonna be starting stream in just a second. Keep my music back. Yeah. Apart from that, I gotta send out some links, don't I? Let's go into here. I can ping all I want in the server. Who gives a fuck? All Control All C ping, and for my Icarus testers thing, kinda can just drop this again. Then drop should be fine. And then now you can go live on TikTok. Oh. Alrighty. What's going on TikTok or TikTok? Okay, I'm gonna stop. That's just troll. Alright. Today's main agenda is a lot of stuff. Essentially, we're just gonna try to hammer as much stuff we can get done within the time period I've given myself. So here's my long list of features I need to add to Icarus that I've gone back and done some testing with. Long list of features. We're gonna try to get them implemented as efficiently, as quick as possible. We're not gonna do everything today. This is probably gonna be like a 2, 3 week long, like really lock in and get shit done type of thing. But after that, we should end up with the exorbitantly better application. So yeah, let's get started. All right, so the first agenda is to fix a simple bug which occurs because I just changed the entire way stuff is structured for sequences, and I forgot to edit a few things that depend on the main strategy format. Because like the legacy data is still there, but it's empty, right? Causing it to empty to populate zero data for the feature I was working on. So I can just do this by I add a task to what is it to Z. So now I can just like run stuff and it automatically does it. How's it going, guys? How's it going, Da Vinci? All right, look, automatically building windows. Yeah, I really like Z. I wish they like fixed the debugging stuff. All right, let's go back and oh wait, I figured out how to make Z work better. I forgot. There's this package called Dashmon, and then it auto reloads every time I do something. So technically, I could use this with utter proxy to the run command. So if you wanna run a specific device, huh? It will be proxied. Okay, got you. I'd rather do Dashmon attached. That makes more sense. All right, let's actually not run it like this. I wanna simplify my flow using Z, as I want Z to be better. Doing great. Doing auto IT scripting right now. Fire, fire. How's it going, John Christian? All right. What am I looking for here? well, I gotta end this entire shtick, right? And I want to use the default debug options in Z, because although they're not really good for Flutter, I think this is the one I want now. Debug Flutter app. Uh, program not found. All right, that's not a good sign, is that? Oh, from here, maybe? No, from here? No, it's not working. Let's delete this and let's go back to the. Wait, is this just gonna end up being a Z stream? Because like I want to get this done. Flutter Z debug. I can find the PR because I was browsing through the PR like 2 nights ago, and I was like really close and extensions. Yep. Okay. Wait. Where's extensions at? This is where extensions is at, right? And I'm looking through the extensions, and somebody was like, "Hey, that works, right? How's it going, Rigby? Alrighty. How's it going, guys? Again, if you guys have any questions about comp sci coding, I'm literally here to answer them. Always here to chat about those. Alright, so I tested now that I installed this PR version. I can say F4 is showing debug tags. Yes. Okay, this might be what I want, question mark. Adding this to my project. So everyone has the different way they wrote the thing. This guy has his own. Oh, he has the two adapters rather. So there's a launch Dart app and there's a launch Flutter app. I made it to-do list app. What should I do? What should I make next? What do you want to make next? That's your question. Like, what do you want to make next? Like, what? Like, think about something in your life that pisses you off, and then try to like make something to fix that solution, to fix that issue rather. That's how I like to go about things. Um. Okay. Because I still want debug to be a part of it. And where do they add that again? Which JSON file? Because I'm debug.json. Okay, let's go look at that. Debug.json, Icarus said. This is the one that's here. Mac OS, nope, it should be Windows. Alright, this should work? Question mark? Not a values for an adapter. Yes, it is. Oh, it's because it's lowercase d. That makes so much sense. All right, D Dart. That's better. And then let's see if we can run these shit. I'd say making a good API wrapper. Yeah, to definitely know about like what if he used APIs with what is it? With with his to-do list app. Like if is it a local first or is it a because if it's local first, then he can definitely go like API insider and cloud stuff. I feel like that's also important. So you can understand how just the infrastructure works in the first place. New session. Let's see, does it work? Yes, no, maybe so. Uh, debugger extensions. Flutter, none. Dart. Hey, there is one. I have it already. File, run, start debugger. And it should be this one, right? This is the one I just edited. I'm getting 0 feedback from Zed. Is this bad, guys? What IDE is this? This is Zed. It's a open source IDE made in Rust, and I'm trying to. It has a little bit of quirks, but I like using it, so I'm trying to make it work for me right now. Run. Well, not task. I already did that. Edit. Debug.json. This doesn't work. Let me copy theirs. Do not start. Let's look at the working. Somebody must have published theirs. Just like plain, no? Do you use any agentic tools like Claude Code or Codex? No, I don't use like any full-blown agentic tools, like just like the CLI stuff. Not really, but I do use the editor, like the classic like cursor type editor in your IDE where you just like talk to it and it does stuff. But only on certain occasions, not all the time. I'm very careful about when I go full GPT and when I don't. Um, do not edit. Okay. Okay. Yes, sir. All supported schema. Oh, so it's merged, right? That, okay. Let's try this then. All right. Do not edit. Okay, sorry. I edited it. Okay. Uh, debug. Let's see. Run, start debugger. How's it going, Nate? Uh, let's see. Do I have a path for that? In my project root folder dot debug. Yep, that should be fine. Why is it not running at all? Rather, F4. Hello? Question mark? Is it not working? Boop, 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 boop. Uh, here. Oh, okay. That worked, kinda. What about CRUD apps as a step in development? I feel like it's important for newbies. Yeah, no, definitely. CRUD apps are definitely an important step in development. Yo, how's it going, Carol? Using more AI yet? Yeah, a little more. Not a lot more, but a little more. We're slowly inching towards it. Uh, Now this is just a piece of freaking crap. I wonder if I change the debug the JSON to lowercase dart, because like they did implement it, right? So maybe I'm just tripping off that. File, run, start debugger, and not that one. Funny enough, the moment I change it from, let's do this, debug.json, the moment I change it to capital D, it comes back, right? Start debugger would be, well, let me bring my file tree back. Going from research programming to full stack dev is legit breaking my brain. Yeah, like actually building stuff and not like doing research stuff is like very different mentally. Yeah, it brings it back. Wow, this is so cool. Let's go in here, figure that out. Not working through blah blah blah. Let's see. I think issue a version flag. All right, you know what? I'm too locked in for this. We're just gonna absolutely ignore it. Because I didn't come here to like trifle with my editor right now. So we're gonna do it the way we've been doing for quite a bit. Yeah. All right. Let's end this debug session because it's not worth it. All right. Now, just go to the normal terminal and run stuff like we normally do. All right. Alt R. Or is it Alt T? There it is. And we can do Flutter run. And that's it. All right, now we're building the application. Now we can actually get to work and not do random stuff. My editor. If this would follow Oliver. If you guys can't tell, I'm currently experiencing a caffeine crash. It should like mellow out after a bit, but like right now I'm in the deep stages of it. It kind of sucks that I took my dosage so early, but it is what it is. Hell yeah, I just completed a coding boot camp. Nice, nice, nice. The most important part I would say is that you should take the stuff you learn from the boot camp and actually apply it and do really like and start building stuff with it. Because a lot of people will go to boot camps and like go immediately to job searching. And the thing is that boot camps only teach you a certain amount of knowledge for a certain limited amount of time. You need to have that natural like absorption of knowledge by just doing the stuff in general. And that's stuff you can't like learn within 3 months or like 4 months of the boot camp, right? So you're gonna have to put in extra effort outside of that. But apart from that, you will get better and you become pretty good and comfortable. All right, go to sleep, Mike. I'm a firm believer in not having like naps. I don't take naps at all. Like, cause it fucks up in my sleep later. Might as well just like wait, thug it out until like it's actually time to go to sleep. I'm not familiar with Dart. What would you say is the best use for it? I mean, the best and one of the only uses for it is using the Flutter framework. Dart was a language developed by Google, and they developed it for something else. I just don't remember it right now. But eventually, when Google was working on the Flutter framework, they were like, "Hey, we have a language that we could use that we already built in house, which is Dart." And nowadays, Dart is majorly used in the Flutter framework, which is a framework that allows you to build applications and Windows, whatever, wherever, web, Windows, iOS, Mac OS, a cross-platform framework that works on every platform, basically, right? Uh, well, I was worried you had to stay up all night. Nah, nah, nah. I actually slept like a baby last night. Uh, all right, let's see. Okay, so the first thing I want to fix is here. You notice how there's nothing here? Well, you probably don't notice that there's nothing here because you don't know what is supposed to be here. But what is actually supposed to be here is supposed to be the list of agents that are currently on the map. And the reason why that is empty is because I didn't change it to use the non-legacy data. Am I using Riverpod? Oh, yes, I'm using Riverpod right now. All right. So if we go to strategy tile and we go get agents on map, look at who it's using. Agent data. That's not real. All right. So what we have to do now is that for every page, for final pages in widget dot strategy data dot pages, then for that final we do for final and then we add this in there and then we nuke that, and after that it should work. My LSP's taking a while. Yeah, I'm using Riverpod. Yo, how's it going, Calheros? Thanks for follow. All right, my LSP's taking a while. Okay, are we back, twin? Expanding identifier, bro. I bought new RAM, and it's coming on like this weekend, so I'm about to install it because right now I have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it doesn't seem like it's happy with me, just in general. The but what's Icarus? Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creation tool. This is the tool I'm working on right now. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. Because within the game of Valorant, it's an hero shooter, especially when you're in a pro team or esports team. When you want to plan strategies, you have to do very complex and detailed plans, and without having stuff that brings in the context from within the game, it's really difficult because all of the agents, all the characters in Valorant rather, have 4 unique abilities, and these abilities have different ways to interact with the map. And having a tool like this that brings in not only the ranges of the abilities, the parameters they function by, and also like just their everything about them is in here one for one as well with the characters. So if I were to go within the game and I was to like put this ability on the map, this would be one for one directly to how it is on the game on the map, right? And that's the most important like part of the application. It's meant to be a tool to ease the process of making strategies for esports teams. All right, are we good now? Agents isn't defined. That's fine. What is agent data? Boom. Not that hard, is that? Of course, we need to hot reload, and then we go back. Boom! Now the agents are back. Nice. So we went from empty to not empty. I like that. So that's first thing checked off the list, guys. Put the easiest thing on your to-do list first, literally. All right, checked off. Nice. Fix exporting for zip files. Now this is the hard part. This is where shit gets start serious. All right. So what I want to do now is I actually want to change the data model that's used for exporting. Right now, for exporting, what happened to my browser? Okay, it's back. Okay, for exporting, what we have right now is everything in a singular JSON file. So this includes like the agent data, right? Whatever agents is here. This includes the drawings and all that stuff. But the most important issue with that is that this JSON file also includes images. Now, if anybody knows about encoding images in text, is that it increases the file size of the image by like 30%. And if people were to add like really huge images or a lot of images into their app, the JSON export would essentially just like come to a slow crawl and you would actually just crash your PC. That is not good. So right now, what I'm trying to do is that so this is the old version, which is just a JSON. I'm trying to actually do 2 things, right? I'm trying to still have these JSON part, this older JSON section, but actually split it into another one where it's just a folder with just the files, right? So now I just have like the images here. I pull images, put them into here. Now, with the images being at the front, I'm gonna have to do what? Zip them back together, right? That's my thing. So I'm gonna have to zip them back together into a zip file so people can still export their stuff back and forth without having to do all that jazz. Just host a WebP in Google Drive and pull it from their site or whatnot. That would work, yeah. But like that's what I'm planning for the online version. But the first mostly important part is that this app has to be local first. That's my initial like ethos with it. So the local first implementation, the only way I could possibly do that is like doing zip files for that. But I'm planning on doing the Google like the hosting shit for online. So my life is like 10 times easier, right? So what we're planning to do is how do you send this to front? I'm trying to like get better at Excalibur, right? Anyways, right? We want to take the images and we want to put the images in a zip file, rather in the same folder, and now zip all of these together. So all of these will be in one giant zip file without having like anything like text related. And I'm just gonna change the extensions to be a .icat file, and that's it. We're done, right? Simple and easy. So we're gonna do that. It sounds pretty easy, but we'll see. All right, first thing I need to get a package that lets me like zip stuff. So darts, pub.dev. All right, this is the package I'm gonna use to access the zip files. I already did some pre-existing research for that, and we're just gonna do this. All right, adding the package. Again, if you all have any questions comp sci coding related, I'm always here to answer them. Yeah, and then you can just pull from the file that's sufficient for yeah, exactly. And it makes it so that because I end up wanting, this is just a theoretical idea, but I want to add video playback as well into the application because that would be sick. But that's like I don't like saying that stuff out loud because people will then expect me to do it, and I'm like, hey, maybe this idea was not the right idea. And now they're gonna be sad, like, oh wow, I wanted videos. So if I don't mention that I'm thinking of doing that, then nobody's gonna be mad. Your roommate probably hot as it, bro. Okay, our roommate isn't chat glading himself, bro. Come on. All right. Nice. We installed the package. Now what we have to do is that we have to destroy everything I've written before. Absolutely demolish it. Strategy provider. All right, this is where all of the exporting, importing, backporting, sigma porting, whatever. This is where everything is going on right now, right? And I just want to do one singular thing, which is, let's go back here. Let's go to export. Let's just start from like the main base function, right? Export file. So when we're exporting a file, we take it, we turn everything to JSON, and then we send it over, right? Now, we're going to change this a little bit. We're going to go into pages because this is where pages handles images now, right? So we have to go to page, what is it called? Strategy page, right? This is where all the, yeah, okay. Here it is. So export to JSON. Now we're going to have another round of stuff to do. Because sure, we can call it pages, like we can try to call it to get all the images here, but I don't feel like that's the right solution. We should do it up here. We should be collecting images up here. Because we have access to everything within the image folder. What's up? How's it going? I'm gonna get a laptop soon, and I can't wait to start programming. Nice. What do you want to work on? Do you just want to like program in general, or do you have something you want to work on specific? All right. Unit bytes data encode. So we're turning all of this into image bytes. Well, not run image bytes, rather text data on that file, right? Okay. Now, I want to actually, before I do this entire thing, I want to take all of the images and take them out into like a specific like folder structure. So, okay. Let me see how the archive package works. Let's look at this. Readme, and let's see. Bytes, read, byte, decode, and then it turns it. This is decoding in memory, right? and using an input file stream and an output file stream to extract the zip file. Okay, extracting a file to disk. Extract an archive to disk, rather. To write the contents of an archive and put it out into directory. So can we make zips in this? Because we're extracting, a lot of the stuff here is extracting. Encode and decode. So we want to encode. So I want to look at the docs for this. API reference. And input file, output file stream to extract the zip. Encode. So encode is only mentioned here once. That's meta. W documentation chat. Alright, archive.io. Archive. B compare did it to B zip format, blah blah blah. Zip file. I guess this is the okay. Encoder. Encode? Okay. Compresses data within the gzip format encoder. Blah blah blah. Onward platforms. Okay. Are you making the tool for yourself or were you asked to? Initially, this tool was meant to be something for myself, but I ended up spending so much time building the tool that I got little time to use it myself. So, yeah, and other people use it now. So, technically, I'm building for myself and others, but I don't have time to use it in the first place. I just look at one of your vids. Is the Valorant app supposed to run and refresh in real time with the game? It's meant to be more of a tool for strategy planning. So like post game planning. And the reason why I can't even have stuff like run within the game is that Riot's very like gatekeepy about stuff. And if it was to run in tandem with the game, there would technically be cheats and all that entire like BS I'm not trying to get into. But yeah. I thought we're trying to make it to sell it. I mean, eventually I'm gonna have like online features that are gonna have like what is it? Like subscription stuff. But right now I'm not making it to sell it now. Thank you for the follow, Onyx. Do you think AI will destroy all dev jobs? No. I mean not in its current state. I can't say for like 20 years into the future because hey, I'm not a genie. This like industry is like moving up, down, left, right, infinite corners and infinite ways. But my core belief is that there will still be devs and there'll still be a need for devs in the future. Because not everybody can have that capacity for logical thinking that is needed to like build stuff, right? So yeah, that is my take. All right, let's see that. Oh yeah, I was looking at the docs. These fuck ass docs, bro. Can people like just make better docs? Question mark? Question mark? All right. Encoder dot web. What is even a gzip? Before I can like even figure that out, right? A zip encoder. Encoded archive object into a zip formatted buffer. Ooh, okay. Let's look at the archive class and then we can like go from there, right? So a collection of files, fire. And this is just like in here, right? So archive file, a list unmodifiable view of all the list all the files in the archive. So it's just a getter, no setter. And then iterator, last, length, runtime, single. Okay. And add archive, add a file to or a directory to the archive. Add file alias for add for backward compatibility. So we need an archive file. All right. And let me go to what an archive file is. So we're drilling down into it, kind of figure out what the fuck is going on with this package, right? By the way, I'm also learning how to make my own VPN. Fire, nice. I made my own like VPN. I'm on VPN, like a tunnel using WireGuard back in my high school days because I wanted to like access my PC from home. But now I just use Tailscale because it's like easier. I don't have to host a server. File data. All right. So from what I'm seeing, it looks like we're gonna. Let's see if GPT has any info on that. How do I use the Flutter archive package to create a zip file of items in a directory? Because technically I don't need to copy the items into memory, because again, all of the image files are actually sitting on the, like, just sitting right there in the application, in the folder. Uh, let's see what GPT is. Gen dust. All right, we add the package, blah, 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 blah. Zip directory, source directory, directory, the path, blah, blah, blah. We create our archive, and then we iterate through all the files in the and subdirectories. This doesn't matter for us. We know there's only going to be one flat directory, and we're fine. And then we can take the files, read as bytes, and then substring. What the fuck? Okay, and then add the relative path, and then files byte length and file bytes, and encode it into the zip encoder and encode the archive. All right, and then we have to write the archive back as a file. Funny thing, I failed my math test. That's funny. I failed mine last week as well. So hey, I guess we have one thing in common. Okay. Archive callback and then zip file. Okay, I was looking at the archive class. Archive file, archive file, archive file. So when you want to create an archive file, you need the from bytes. So the name and then the data. Archive file, a directory usually represents an empty directory or archive in an archive. Archive dot file, a file that gets its context from the giving file. Okay, that makes sense. This makes sense. This would be actually far more efficient for me than converting it and reading it as bytes and then dumping it back into the list, right? File content, a file archive. What is this even? Close feature sync. Yeah. That's just it. It's compressed. It's closed. Properties. Runtime length. Blah blah blah. Get stream. Read as bytes. Oh, so it does the same thing anyways. All right, noted. But now I own a Ford GT, which is being modified with fiber and other modifications. Though fire, nice. Do you like the car, or oh, I would assume you like the car if you're like doing modifications on it. All right, let's just go back to here. All right, let's see. What did GPT say again? I'm a bit confused on this. So we got a zip. Okay, let's just make one that zips all the images. How about that? Because we do have this, right? The save file. Okay. Future void. Because I like to think about my stuff in really like small tidbits. Zip images. There. Funny. No. I now am planning on buying a brand new Bentley, but yes, I love it. Nice, nice. Really expensive car, but it's fun to drive it around. I would assume so. All right, let's go in here. Await support. Get application support directory, which is valid. See, GPT knows some code. All right, let's look at this. The custom directory would be this technically. That's fine. It's gonna be state.id anyways. We're gonna have a string strategy ID actually passed to it because I want to make this so it doesn't depend on state, and it's actually asynchronous, so we should be fine there. And how's it going, little man? If it doesn't exist, return, and custom directory delete. So, whoa! This guy's just deleting everything. Wait. What does AI think we're doing? All right. Let's getting the archive package yet. So archive, let's just do this so we can get the package in, and we'll figure something out as we're exploring this. archive.loot equals custom directory. Is this AI gen code? Am I reading AI gen code right now? Oh shit! I thought that was documentation. I was stupid guy in high school, horrible grades and other things related, but I'm sure there's something else. I feel like a lot of times when people like don't succeed in school or whatever, it's a lack of the system rather than the person themselves. All right, let's see this. List for each, right? And then we're going for each file in file. And we're gonna add archive file. And what we need is the size here. Why do we need the size here? Very confused why size is this optional or is it's absolutely not. List of integers. Archive file. How to zip files and somebody's probably figured this out before I did. So let's just look at this. Dara, it's day 3 of my project. 0 work done besides UI. Hey, don't force yourself. Well, I mean, force yourself like reasonably. Like try to say commit like 20 minutes, right? Eventually, you just work over an hour. Like that's how I like to do. I'll say like, okay, I'll just work on my code for 20 minutes, and then before you know it, like 2 hours has passed, right? Yeah, that's true. I was always shy in school. Yeah, same. Like back in elementary school, I was literally like the most like not the worst student in the class, but I would not understand stuff a lot. And eventually, when I moved to middle school, it was like literally the flip of a switch, right? It's like one good teacher changes everything. Bro, what theme is your VS Code? Well, I'm using what is it? I'm using Zed right now, but I'm using a theme I got from VS Code. It's called Tokyo Night, so you can tap into that if you want. Um, 1.7 fucking million. All right, it's fucking insane. Good upside. Uh, what the? Who are we using for this? Here, archive package doesn't have any sample. Yes, please help me. 6 years ago, and bro's the goat. Uh, and then zip file encoder. Create directory file of zip file, and then add file. Oh, so we're gonna be adding stuff to that continually, and then encoder dot close. Right? Question mark? Seems about right. Okay, that looks about right. I feel like my history teacher, that's where I actually got good grades. Yeah, like a lot of times it's based on the teacher. I'm thankful to have good teachers all throughout like my high school years. I think I always had like W luck with teachers. I never got like any of the bad teachers except from once from my what is it? My history class, US history class. I didn't get a bad teacher, but I got a particularly painful teacher because he did teach us by not teaching us. He just made us read the textbook the entire class. So I did learn, but would it be the way I would have to rather like to learn? Probably not. But did he teach me? Yes, he did. Zip file encoder. So how about we just nick this and we do zip file encoder. I wish the docs were a lot more helpful because I wouldn't have to be going like this and looking online. And that's the only person I trusted. File archive. So this is archive and then add. Oh, we can add an entire freaking directory. Is that Aura chat? Um. We can. I want to add files, low key. Like adding files recursively seems a lot more better than Of course, I'm gonna have to do this, and then what files is it? It's waiting for a just a file, which I do have access to rather. So for each file in a sync and file is file. So we're just gonna pass file in there. What am I working on? What's the app? I'm working on Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator tool. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. Now, this tool is very important, especially for esports teams, because within the game of Valorant, whenever you're planning strategies in the competitive scene, your strategies get really deep and granular, and it's nigh impossible to create actually like good strategies without having stuff that brings in the context from the game within your strategies, right? So, in the game of Valorant, there's like 16 characters, and all these characters have 4 unique abilities, and these abilities have different sizes, different parameters, and different ways to interact with the map, as well as there are multiple different maps, right? So this tool brings in all of that data. For example, so this ability you see here, if you were to go within the game, place that ability right there in the game, this would be 1-for-1 to the size, to the scale that it is within the game, and that's essentially what I'm doing and what I'm building right now. um and what I'm working on right now is actually switching the way files are exported. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to like do a bimodal type structure where I have a JSON and I have actual files and I zip them together into this giant monstrosity of a construct and put them together. Uh oh damn, that's fire, bro. The what am I doing here? Add file. Hold on. I feel like I've lost the plot for a second. Add file, and then we can do what does it need here? It's just the file. Okay, file. Boom. Easiest score of my life, right? Got the pitch down. Yes, I got the pitch down, bro. I feel like 100 pitches, bro. Of course, I'm still like experimenting and taking things in, adding things back, and all that stuff. But right now, it seems fire. So honestly, I want to take this zip encoder. Ooh, this probably works in memory. Is that bad, chat? Validate the path traversals on the file location. It already does that. Like the file structure for the what is it? Like the inbuilt like framework stuff already does that for me. So I'm like 100% this is like the right file. Uh yeah, I've started a real estate and selling mansions and houses on the business. Nice, bro. You're actually slave maxing right now. Let's just take this. Let's nuke this entire thing right here because we don't need a zip file yet. What I want to do is that I want to get all the images first with this. Hey, we've done add images. Nice, I've added the images. Now I just want to do like a hot thing, which is just add back the rest of the stuff we're missing, which is going to be I want to return these zip zip file encoder. And let's return it. Return archive. And then we take this archive, right? I see you're a scripter or something. It's a really cool thing. Thank you, man. Yeah, I'm working on my application right now. File zip images, right? So we take this, and then we move it into not here, of course. Copy this, and then we take the zip files, and then we move them all the way up here in the export file like section, right? Wish you best luck on the application. Thank you, man. Okay. So we've exported the data. Yes. Export done. Now I want to take this like thing before it saves into a file. Oh, I need to drop the bytes. That's fine. That shouldn't be an issue. All right. Final archive. Archive. We can just call it archive here, and then we'll make it. Of course, I'll change the names to be better, but right now we're just trying to get as rough of a working version as we can possibly. Await zip images. Is that what I called it? Zip images. Zip images, and then we need to pass strategy data. How does this like AI have zero context of what's going on? It's sending bytes as the string. Hello, chat. Have we lost the plot? Ref.read strategy provider to JSON. Export a force save now. Pages.json future wait. Page to JSON encode pages. I'm looking for a strategy here. Okay, we reset that. Okay. Strategy dot settings, right? Oh, so this should not be reading from ref. I should just tell you that much. This is actually wrong. This is a fault, bad implementation, like thoroughly. It's an absolute awful implementation. I'll say it myself. Yeah, it's absolute awful implementation from me. I'll fix this. This is a bad implementation. Bad. Do awful. Implementation. All right, I'll fix that later. All right. How long have I been scripting for? I've been doing this for about like 6 or 7 years around. I started when I was like 11-ish, and I just like went along with it my entire way. I wanted to make games at first, actually, and I kind of just pipelined into being here. So strategy.id. Essentially, we want to take this archive file, and essentially we want to add another file to it. Yes, it's working. All right. And instead of that, we want to take. Can we convert something to an archive file? Archive file dot bytes. Name and bytes. Yes, it's working. All right. What language is this? This is Dart. Yeah, Rockstar Games to hire me. I wish. How's it going, Banana Bread? Bytes. Yes, it's working, Uncle. Encode, and then what does this give me? It gives me a string, and then it's from list. Encode should return a unit 8 list. So what am I doing from list? Let's do this. I think this is supposed to be what I need, right? Can be assigned to parameter string. So it wants bytes as a string. That's name and data. I recently got my Apple dev account, planning to launch an app in December. Nice. Yeah, the Apple dev account process is kind of cancerous because you have to give them a bunch of money as well. Strategy.name. And then bytes is the real thing you have to worry about. It's like adding the bytes. How am I supposed to get a list of? Oh, I can probably do this, right? Bytes dot to list. Yes, it's working. Done. It says it's from a list here. List of ints. So this should be a list of ints. Why is it not giving? Let's see. Because I don't want to convert it back and forth, no? Oh no, it totally works. Oh, fire. I'm opening 3 stores in California with weapons since I already know everything about them. Nice. Uh, mm, mm. I love water so much, bro. All right, this uh, final, final JSON. Final. I guess this is gonna be really bad file names. I accept who I am. Guy file. I'm a terrible naming guy. Okay, and then we're adding archive file. Yes, it's working. All right. And now after we've done all these modifications, well, that's okay. We can then. Is this async? This is not async at all. And then we can write it, right? At this point, it's funny I didn't give out some food to the homeless yesterday. I did give out. Nice, nice, nice. App name, it's called Icarus. It's an open source Valorant strategy tool. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. And the main important part about this is that within the game of Valorant, especially for esports teams, when you're planning strategies, it's really hard to create granular and detailed strategies without having a tool that brings in all the context of the game. Why? Because all the characters within Valorant, as you can see, multiple different one of them, right? They all have 4 unique abilities, and each of those 4 unique abilities have the different parameters, like their size, how they look visually on the map, how they interact with the map, even, and all these little stuff you have to restrictions you have to work with. And without having a tool that brings in all those restrictions, so you know about them, it's pretty difficult to plan complex and detailed strategies, right? Uh, Reminds you of that yellow pixel game where they try to catch you. Is that like what is it called? Pac-Man? Yeah. Probably because of the dots, though. The dots kind of look like the food in Pac-Man. How's it going, little man? Encoder.file, encoder.close. Bro, what does this mean though? Encoder.create. And then when we close, is it done? This seems like such an issue. How does this guy do it? Uh, we can put them into one directory, I guess. I feel like that would be much more better. And then once we have the zip file, we can then ask them, hey, do you want to save this? Question mark, question mark. Music is kind of tough. Thank you, man. It's like some random guy on YouTube, like stuff I put on. Mm, this could also be fire, like adding the input directory. Uh, Files, cache A. I don't like this. Let's see. Archive package, blah blah blah. And then we're adding the bytes in here, byte.length, and that. And after we create the archive file, we encode the archive into the encoder, and then we create a zip file. So we say I wait my file.zip write as bytes encoded archive. A more complete example on their GitHub page. I want to see this actually. Stack Overflow is negged by an AI. He thinks you deserve a follow. Keep up the hard work. Thank you, man. Well, it depends on what I'm doing, because what I'm doing right now is pretty hyper specific. Because the AI gave me a solution, but I don't think this is the right way to do it. So I'm trying to figure out if I'm doing it the right way or not. Let's look at this. Encode. Okay. Extract context from a zip file to disk. Encode the archive. Decode the zip file, right? And then blah blah blah. And then write the compare star file to disk. Zip a directory. Zip directory convenience method. So you can zip an entire directory. That's heat. Manually create a zip of a directory and individual files. Oh, wait. That's exactly what I want, right? What I technically want to do is I want to create a zip file of a directory and individual files. Yo, Dara, do you have an Icarus on one file or different modular pieces? Different modular pieces easily, bro. If I had this entire shit in one file, there's like over like probably like 20,000 lines of code here. If I had all this all in one file, I'll like lose my mind navigating it. Why would I do that? Why would I do that? Refer me, brother, bro. I can't do referrals, chat. Not yet. I'm not that level yet. Oh my god. How's it going, Carol? All right. So we're gonna add, from what I'm seeing from the docs. See, this is better docs, low key. This is a better example. I like this a lot, right? This is essentially what I want to do, right? I want to encode a directory, and then I want to write it there. Uh, what app am I trying to do? I am building an open source Valorant strategy creator called Icarus. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. And the main important like spec about this app is that you're able to bring in all of the abilities within Valorant, especially for esports teams and pro teams. Kind of important to have this, right? All the abilities in Valorant, all of their like sizes and descriptions and all that stuff into one place where you can seamlessly plan strategies. So, for example, if I was to go into the game of Valorant and look at this ability size, this would be one for one as it would be in the game, right? And that's really important because it brings in the concept of all of the maps, as well as other tools like drawing and adding several other nodes as well, just to make an integrated like note taking place, right? Uh, I don't play Valorant, but tough, yeah, that's fine. I kind of got roped into playing Valorant as well, so don't worry. Okay, let's go back here. So what's the language of choice? Dart, because I'm using the Flutter framework. So it kind of came with the package. Let's see. Okay, so how about we do this? We honestly should change the way we are approaching things here, right? So whenever we are calling for them to save a file, hold on. Where's what I'm looking for? Right here, right? We should just remove bytes. Bytes is not something we need right now. We just do this here. Boop. And output file is equal to null. What's the issue with that now? Oh, that's because it's here, right? Okay. Out. Final output. Because I realized you could attach bytes to it on the final load, but I didn't like that. Programming XBP content when I already did the like sub 5 languages. What editor? I'm using the Z editor right now. It's a open source editor built in Rust. It's really performant. All right, let me look at this. Right. Should I? No, a directory is too much work. That's like writing back and forth several times, right? How about this? What the fuck is file? Okay. Output file. Undefined file name file. Final file. There. So final file name is not defined. Wait, what the fuck am I doing? Huh? Wait, hold on. Let's go back for a second. Right? What am I doing is save true here, and what am I giving the file path there? I think that's just legacy code then. Doesn't matter. This should be fine then. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Why would I pass file path to file? Oh no! This is legacy code from back in the day. Okay, that makes so much sense. Because that's how I used to do saves before. I used to actually write them to a JSON. That makes so much sense now. Dude, that's back in the good old days when my app only had like one file system. That's actually crazy. I forgot about that time period. F string mods concatenation. Yeah, except in Dart you can actually do F strings without even typing an F in it. So you can just type whatever you want to type. Put the $ symbol, type whatever variable you want to type, and if you want to write more, just put a $ symbol and then put the code in there, and boom, freaking F string type shit. Peep YouTube chat. Is YouTube chat actually like actually working? I haven't checked in a bit. What is this handsome fella doing? That's my goat. Thank you, man. Bro, I keep forgetting to check YouTube chat. Skoloki kind of cooked. All right, let's look at this. Bro, I wish I didn't take a bunch of caffeine in the morning, bro. All right, let's do this. Is my username on YT tough? Yes, it's freaking tough. How's it going, Ash Adams? Yeah, fine. Oh, I forgot to. We need to write the file as bytes, though. No. That's an issue, isn't it? No, that's not actually an issue anymore at this least. Oh, wait. Let me look at the docs again and see what I can do. I want to create the zip file, right? And this probably writes the zip file to file, right? And I want to zip in a directory, blah, blah, blah. Using a convenience method, right? How about, can I just get the raw binaries? Can I, okay. Encoded bytes. Encode bytes. File, zip file encoder. Zip directory. Encoder.create. Right? Can I have it just like, okay, I guess it does it small little bit. Dara stays looks maxing, gonna reach HTN. Hopefully, bro. I'm trying to sense HTN and Chad Light. All right, let's see. Yo, guys, there's a tip from me. If you just get started, learn assembly and make your own OS as your first project. Ziggs, are you an FBI operative? Why are you coming here and giving people absolutely crazy advice? You're telling bro who just spawned in a level 1 noob to take on the final boss. Yes, it's working. Oh my god, bro. That's actually crazy work. You're actually evil. Why would you say that to them? 5 coders are subhuman? Alright. Alright. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're MTN. Maybe they're MTN. I don't think they're subhuman yet. Uh, what's wrong, bro? Nothing's wrong. Oh wait, what's wrong? I'm trying to figure out how to fuck to like how I should go about encoding like zip files right now. That's what's wrong. What's not wrong is just the stream in general. We're having a lot of fun. After that, you can learn brainfuck and then start learning Python. Yeah, this is like the reverse. You're starting from like hard line all the. I feel like brainfuck is worse than making your fucking own fucking OS, bro. Yo, TikTok is making me do capture chats. Am I cooked? All right. Let's see here. Write the compressed file to disk. The issue I have with this is that fp.write this and this zip encoder. It's zip file encoder. What if there was just a zip encoder without the file that just stores that shit in memory so I can just write it all at once right here? That will be fire, right? Write as bytes sync. Let's do this. Alrighty. Zip encoder. Yep, there is literally right there. And I wonder, what does the zip encoder do? Encoder. Let's look at what is done by it. Add archive file, encode archive, blah blah blah, encode bytes. So archive file, blah blah blah. And you're taking it from bytes? Question mark. End encode, start encode. Oh. Ooh, so many different ways to do this, isn't it? Let's look at this. Actually, let's low-key look at how they do it here, right? Python is true Adam? No, bro. Python is MTN. Because Python fakes fake structure, bro. Python likes to take the easy life. Python drinks Soylent. Python is MTN, bro. Like C++ is Chad Light. This should follow. Let's see here. No, Python drinks Soylent confirmed. Literally. Haven't you noticed that Python is actually not found in nature? That's exactly why people don't like Python. Let's look at this zip file encoder. I want to look at what happens when I do this essentially. I can just go to where I have them at, which should be here. Let's go to zip images. And I do the same thing here, which is zip encoder. So let's go to the definition. Hopefully it's not a long ass file. No, it's not. Let's go. All right. So we are reading the docs. We are reading the actual code. What's good, Tendai? How's it going? So blah blah blah. Don't care that much. That's if you want to add a password to a zip. Nobody does that. All right. File name, level, follow links, true, double on progress, zip directory. Right. Oh wait, add directory, blah blah blah, follow links, filter, closed, right? And this is a function that does that within the zip file stuff, right? So first they create the file, and then they write it's cause oh, I do remember seeing that, right? If you go to the archive package, just like the main Flutter archive package, right? They make sure that hey, right? It was originally written in web, and the thing is that file IO operations were done in memory before, but now they're doing it on file. Do you think data science will be replaced by AI, or will AI make data science boom? Um, AI will definitely make data science boom. I think we need to curate a lot of data for AI in general. So that's like my general consensus on that. Again, I would say just do what you want to do. Don't market predict stuff. If you want to do data science, no matter the market, you will find a way to do it. If you're really passionate about data science and you are set on doing data science, you'll be fine. Right? Doc 404 peptides. All right, man. Yeah. Okay, let's see this. Um. All right, this makes sense, right? Then in that case, there's a couple of ways I can try to do this. One being, I can already write it to file, and then after that, can I start like exporting it back and forth, right? Two being, I can, oh well, nope, I need to write it to file. There's no other way. There's no reason why we should be doing stuff in memory while we already have a what is it? Like a file. You know what I mean? So we can go in once we get this. Honest to say, let's go up here to export file. Go here, blah blah blah. The zip encoder, we can nuke this as well. And and we don't have to put bytes here. I want the file path. So let's go in here. Right. And then we go archive add file sync, close sync, create zip path, level entity modify, create with string, open string, to string, zip a directory, call no such message, JSFI. All right, that should be fine enough. Doc 404 is the true way to ascend. Everything else is code. Dara has a mini fridge. Nah. I don't LARP. I don't LARP at all. I'm actually anti-LARPer. What if I'm actually LARPing and I actually don't like have an Amazon internship? I'm just here talking to you guys and like lying to you guys so like I can have more people to compete with when I want to get a job. What if I'm just lying? I'm trying to reduce the market. What am I looking for here? Add file. Well, we already created so low key, I'm gonna move all of this jazz down the list. And final um output file equals there. And then we go in here, and when we're doing archive, we actually want to move this entire thing. And where's zip images at? Zip images is right here. Not only do I want to take the strategy ID, but I also want to take the file path, just the raw file, right? The output file, right? And when we're doing the custom directory create, right? Zip file encoder.archive. And when you do it, you have to create it first, no? Yeah, how's it going, Tuan? Uh, let's see, encoder, zip directory, file name, encoder create, add directory, add file, close sync. So closing it ends it, and then creating it is the first one. Huh. Create a zip file of a directory. Let me look at this. Dara, your music taste is unique, Kroski. I remember seeing you scroll through it like 2 days ago. How did you see my music taste? When? Yeah, low key, like my music taste is like is everywhere, honestly. You can see I got some crazy like Japanese like what is it? Post rock like instrumental band. And then you have fucking Edward Scalatrix. Just like the most random shit ever. It's like you can expect everything. Everything is on here, bro. I'm like the true everything listener. And like when I'm on like when I'm running, it's the classical music. It's like it's weird, right? But I'm afraid I can't play any of my music on stream because again, the the guys will get me. The fucking copyright guys will get me. I don't want that. I'm supposed to loop this one. I don't want the copyright guys to come get me, bro. I'm a small streamer. I need this. Uh, zip file encoder. You're fine. Are you sure? If I get banned, you're gonna pay me 20K. All right. Uh, are there any bad words? Sup, Dara? Share your playlist. We'll listen with you. All right, bet. Hold on. Hold on. What is this right now? Let's pause this music right here. It's Spanish. All right, fine. Nobody's gonna. Do you guys listen to music while you program? That's a question I want to ask y'all. Like for me, I like listening to like a different type of music. Like, it's more like very overstimulating music. No, no. Damn. Like I can't. I low key can't program without music sometimes, especially when I'm like just like hard lock in. Whenever I have a lot of noise, I need to like hard lock in. Oh, repeat the question. Do y'all listen to music while you code? Oh, I've heard this song before. Yo, my barber plays this all the time, bro. My barber is Dominican, so he be playing this song every time. I know the song. I can't critical think, especially if I'm listening to music I like. Damn. For me, like the music I listen to is like it's either like very overstimulating or like it's very at least for when I'm programming, or it's very like minimal. I don't know much, bro. All I do, the only knowledge I have from that type of music is just being at my barber shop, bro. I listen to music while not debugging. That makes sense. Debugging requires a different level of like just mental work. Also, how the fuck have we made zero progress on this like file, like zip file bullshit? I'm a bit confused why the guys on Stack Overflow think that's a good way to do this. Encode. Read as bytes. And then create a file from it. And then, yeah. And then we add it to archive. And then finally at the zip encoder level, we take all of this stuff and put it and we turn it into a zip file. Question mark? Uh, 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 um, again, we're doing it within memory. Is this what we want? No! How do you know what I'm coding? Okay, so I've tried to say this a bunch of times. So the way I kind of understand what I'm coding is that I've reached sort of like a high level of understanding that it's kind of hard to like explain it really low level. But the way it is kind of like I already understand like the basic functions of this language. I already know like the language, like when you're learning English, when you're writing an essay, do you think about how do I write this essay, right? You're thinking about, okay, how do I structure this essay in a way that makes sense, right? I'm thinking about the concepts and like how to organize stuff rather than what I'm writing, essentially, necessarily, that is. Nah, little man, like some people, like it's different. It's a different level. Like imagine trying to get your grandma to play Fortnite. Like she doesn't even know how to move in first person. Like there's so much acquired learning that you take for granted. And just like in every skill, in every baseline skill, if you put somebody who's not like familiar with like video games or even like using a computer in general, putting them in front of Fortnite, they'll be like, "What the fuck is going on?" They can't even use WASD. Do you understand how fundamental that is? Like. There's so much like fundamental things you need to learn in order to be able to navigate, in order to do all that stuff before you can even play like video games, let alone apply that those concepts as well to programming, right? So it's different for people. Every skill you think is all right, there's different levels of acquired stuff you already knew previously that you don't consider in the process of learning. That people who are just fresh and like new bloods have to consider, right? It's like you think in concepts because like you're already there. You're already at that stage. You've cleared all the pre-requirements, right? Some people haven't got to that point yet. And that's like a different type of thing. Uh how's it going, Dragon? Did I say your name right? Gian? I'll try my best. Alright. Um tisk. Zip file encoder. This seems wrong. Version web mobile, the import stream depends on where you want to use it. Does not work on web. Works on web, does not work on web. Well, I want to use it in web and so low key, the fact that my application kind of has to work on web, I might as well do it. All right. I wonder, is there a performance difference between web and not web? You know what? Let me just do it. I feel like I'm worrying so much about like performance and stuff that I'm like blocking myself from actually just getting a working version done like properly. So might as well just do this. All right, we've done this part. Now, all I have to do is this, right? Which is archive file because we already have this coded zip, right? And we want to zip encoder dot encode archive. What is the archive? This dot encode. And then my file dot write to bytes is archive. I wonder, can I just take this archive and then what do I have to do? Close, I guess. How to write a zip. I remember I feel when I feel sad because I'm a LARP coder, I remember it's okay because so is the guy that built Icarus. I am not a LARPer. Okay? I'm not a LARPer. Fucking hell, man. Is this the greatest slander ever? Why are you slandering me, bro? Holy crap. Um, I have an app I've been trying to build with Base 44. Would you like to chat about it? I actually met one of the like people at Base 44, so I know a little bit about it. I haven't used it too much, but we can talk about it. What's Icarus? Icarus, let's go. Pitch start now. All right. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. Icarus is a tool that I built for Valorant pros and Valorant esports teams in general. You see, within the game of Valorant, whenever you're planning strategies, especially in like esports and competitive spaces, you end up creating really granular strategies, right? But the issue that it's really hard to do that without having an app that brings in the context of the game. Why? Because Valorant's a hero shooter. Hero shooters have 4 different abilities for each character, right? So that's like 16 characters here, right? And each of these characters have 4 different unique abilities, and these abilities have different ways they interact with the map, and different like sizing requirements and different like parameters that you need to take into account when detailing strategies that need to be pinpoint accurate, right? And this app does exactly that. So it brings in all of the agents within the game, as well as their strategy, as their abilities, right? So for example, this ability you see here, if we were to go in the game and place that ability down, that would be 1-for-1 with the game, right? It also brings in other notes like note taking, as you can see here, images as well, and drawing, right? So what I'm trying to create is like one tool for all your strategy and note taking and planning needs all together, right? And you can share this with your team and have like a good like giant board where you can say, hey, this is what we're doing today, right? Uh, so was that a good pitch, guys? Rate this out of 10, like in my top 10 pitches. All right, let's see. Thanks for the follows, guys. Uh, 10 out of 10. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let's see. This guy said file zip encoder, blah blah blah, create, and then yep, everybody is creating it first. So how about when I just do what I need to do, but now, like fuck everything. Let's just do it now, right? So what we are going to do is that we are actually going to await zip images, and we are going to pass this down. So let's go to zip images, and we're going to have to create a file create. Oh, so before we zip images, low key, we have to do something else. All right, before we add this to archive, we have to create the output file. The output file being created is kind of important. So we know like, hey, we have the file here. And now that we have the output file, we can kind of be like, we can actually create our own, okay. Final zip encoder is equal to zip file encoder. Zip file encoder. And then we're gonna take this. Yes, guys, we're actually coding. Okay. Dot create question mark. Where's create at? I want to see what did they write there. Zip file encoder, and then they did dot create after that. Okay. Well, I can probably concatenate and do create. I'm learning. I'm just a noob. Hello, what am I building? All right, your dad. I'm building Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator tool. It's a tool to allow Valorant players, and especially Valorant esports teams, to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So within the game of Valorant, it's a hero shooter, a multiplayer competitive strategy, like hero shooter, right? And in the hero shooter, there are 4 different abilities. And each of these abilities for each character, by the way, they all have 4 different abilities, have different requirements and different sizes they need to be on the map. And without having a tool that allows people to create complex, detailed strategies that are still accurate to the map by bringing all this in-game data, including all the maps and all the abilities as well, it's not impossible to create strategies within Valorant. And this is a tool for that. So it brings in all their note-taking features like drawing, adding text, adding images for visuals, and a bunch of other stuff. And that's exactly what this application is. Okay, and now let's see. We've gotten this is the bytes from the image for the file. Now, honestly, we can take the JSON file archive and we can say, hey, strategy data, ETF encode data. And when we do wait, where's the dot create function? I low-key lost the plot. I remember writing this. There it is. Okay, dot create. And in the dot create version, we need a string, which is zip path. So let's add this, and it's going to be output file dot path. Path. How do I get the path of a file in a footer? Oh, output file is a string. Does it just return the string name of the file? That's silly. Let's look at this. What does it return? It returns a string. Blah blah blah. Open the save dialog and from mobile blah blah blah. On web, the user select the file read or write is required on Mac OS. Blah, 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 and then final name. Return null and put select the absolute path of the selected file. Okay. Yep, so we can do this. Is it like a planning board? Yes, yes. How'd you select my tech stack? So the way I selected my tech stack was I took into account two different like things, right? First of all, what am I most familiar with, right? What I was most familiar with was the Flutter framework, and I had a little bit of React experience, right? So I could either choose Flutter or React for what I'm doing right now. Number two, what is my project about, right? My project, it was a open source VALORANT strategy creator, so the tools allow, like, it was mainly graphical based, right? I'm like drawing stuff on the map, and I'm like just like exporting files back and forth. Nothing too serious, nothing too crazy. I'm just handling data, creating like a note-taking place to do stuff, right? So Flutter and React were still very valuable things. Now, what were the other requirements, which is what platforms did I want to launch on, right? And this was where I decided that, you know, maybe Flutter is what I wanted to use because I needed to be able to launch on web, mobile, and Windows. Most importantly, Windows, because I want a seamless local first application. I want something that's local first and doesn't touch the web initially. In the final version, it's probably going to touch the web and it's probably going to need like a subscription and all that stuff. But my main important goal was, hey, I wanted something that's open source and free, right? And that's what made me choose Flutter instead of React, because I didn't want to have to deal with the multi-platform. In React Native is a little bit more like finicky and more like involved rather than multi-platform in Flutter. And I wanted to just focus mainly on the application rather than worrying about like native stuff. Right? How long have I been coding? For about like 6 or 7 years. So I started when I was like 12, and I started making Scratch games, and then it evolved from wanting to make Roblox games, and then Unity games. And then I decided that game dev was not my passion anymore because I realized just how hard and just like how many different disciplines it takes to make a good video game, right? And also the video game industry for work life it didn't look too good from most stories I was hearing. So I kind of abandoned that. And I honestly like didn't code for quite a bit until I started coding back in 2020 when the pandemic happened again, and I started making apps. I started off with a note-taking app, and then I really liked like the process of just building stuff. And then I kind of went from there and started building more stuff until that's where I am right now. Uh, can a team see each other's changes in real time? So that's what I'm planning on adding around like 2 months from now when online features come into play. But right now it's local first, so there's not real way to see stuff real time. Usually what happens is that, hey, the lead coordinator or the strategy guy in the team makes strategies, and then he sends the screenshots of stuff to his teammates and stuff. So that's what's going on right now. How's it going, MacB? Let's look at, oh, okay. Let's go back to here, right? We are creating the output file, which is meta, right? And we're adding the JSON file to this. Parameter JSON file cannot be added to parameter file. That's fine. We can actually just do this. So we can add archive file. It says expression type void. That's fine. We can add an archive file, and then we can finally, yeah, save to file is not a method. It is absolutely not a method. Save to file. Nope. What we do is we close it now. Close. Technically, this should work. Hopefully, right? I put hot sauce in my noodles. Holy crap. So how do you manage, how do you time manage and plan your projects? Do you have a checklist or something? Yes, I usually have a checklist. At some point, initially, I had like a huge master checklist, but then I found that through like the at least really deep development process, I like to actually have sub checklists where I'll like come back every month and reevaluate what I have on my list and be like, hey, what do I actually want to work on right now? What's the most pressing issue right now? But now that I've reached the state where the app actually has a bunch of users and is actually more stable now, and more like normal stuff, I actually have a master checklist of stuff I need to go through. So this is what I'm planning to get through, like this in the entire 2 weeks from now. Like all the stuff you see right here, this is what I'm trying to get to in like 3 weeks. See, it's a lot. I know myself that this is a fucking lot. So yeah. But yeah. Zen, I absolutely have zero idea what you're saying. I'll assume you're giving me you're congratulating me on my achievements. Thank you. But yeah. You said AI there though. So do I use AI? Is this what I wanna? Let's should we Google Translate this? I'm scared, but I'm gonna Google Translate it. Well, I mean, if you can wait, Google Translate. I didn't know we're reaching like multiple levels of people. Congratulations, bro. Thank you, man. All right, let's auto detect language and let's drop this in. Which AI am I using? Right now, I'm using GPT-5 from like the GPT-5 is my main model right now. So yeah. All right, let's see. Art archive close. Technically, this should work. I'm curious to see how well it works, rather. So we can nuke this here. And of course, we still haven't like removed images like happening in general. It's fine. Honestly, I just want to see if this works. All right, let's go in here. Let's attempt to export this strategy. Oh, no, no, no. No, no, no. That's bad. If we look at this, right? How are paths sorted out? And did I make any successful Roblox games? No. I made absolutely dog Roblox games. Like my Roblox games were absolutely dog shit. I'm gonna show you one of them right now, bro. They were not good. I was a tutorial demon. The most I made without a tutorial was honestly, give me a second, let me find the game. This is the most I made without a tutorial. Hopefully my Roblox is updated as well. I made a hobby simulator. Like, look, back in 2020, by the way. Is it paid? The Amazon internship? Yeah, it's gonna be paid. It's gonna be next summer in Seattle. So they're gonna be flying me out as well, because I live on the East Coast right now. All right. Image directory. What is that entire shtick over there? Get direct. I want to just look at directory, custom directory, delete recursive, blah blah blah. I'm looking for where exactly image stuff is happening. Right? How old was I when I made that? Well, okay. If we take, I'm 18 right now, and we minus 5 from 18, I was, I can't do math. 13 years old when I made this. All right. So this is my hobby. This is the shop. You know, I was trying to get money. I was trying to scam people even before the game was fire, right? And then so you go in here, you do the hobby, boom, boom, boom. You climb up. And then I didn't end up finishing this part, but it's fine. So you have to look down to figure out like what's going on. And then you go here, go on here, boom, and then jump to here, jump here, and boom, the run was done. That's it. Absolutely fire. And then you have levels, of course, on your money, and of course double jump. I have double jump as well, do I? I think I do. All right, nice. But that's pretty much it. This is my magnum opus for Roblox, by the way. This is it. Uh, let's see. Did it take a while to make? It took like probably like 2-3 weeks to. Oh, maybe not 2 weeks. Definitely 2 weeks. 2 weeks to get done. But I think I learned a lot in that like project in general, because that was one of the first projects I made without using any tutorial. I was just like raw dogging from what I learned past which like I really liked about the project. That's why I called it my magnum opus, because I raw dogged it. And back then we didn't even have GPT, bro. I was doing my shit raw. Need to learn JS and TS. What do you think is the best way to study? Honestly, just by building websites and building web apps. You can start like a simple note-taking app and like build one in JS and then build it again and try to port it to like TypeScript or something. That's how I would go about it. So you can understand like the difference between JS and TypeScript. Because I mean, JS is essentially just a TypeScript wrapper. It's just TypeScript. It's just JavaScript or types. So. Uh, let's see. So set storage directory, blah blah blah. Strategy ID. What? I want to look at this. I want to look at something for a second. Here. This is where strategies are stored in Icarus, by the way. So if you go in here, and yeah, I meant the other way around. I meant TypeScript is a wrapper for JS with types. There. All right. Images. Okay, so there is an images directory. Images. So there's the base support directory. There's the folder called Icarus apparently, and then this is it. Okay. I wonder how do I do that for images? Let me look at this. Image provider. And let's see. Delete unused images, get path, directory path. And then we're building this, and we essentially custom directory, strategy ID, and then we go through that entire thing. Okay, this is how we build the right path. Noted. And then okay, we're gonna take this. Do you plan on getting money from this project in the future? Yes, I plan on getting like subscription money from it, but apart from that, nothing in general. I do plan on making it have success for more, like abilities for more games. So it's possible somebody might see it and be like, "Hey, this is kind of cool. I want to buy it off you." And in that case, so be it. I don't care. It's an open source application anyways, so at least the base like local first version is open source, so I don't care that much. Set storage directory, string strategy ID. Custom directory path, custom directory. Nope. This is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for it in save images. They're not zip images rather. Yep. Right here. This is what I want to get. So images directory is actually the directory we want to be going through rather than that. And then we can return archive. I don't even think we need to return the archive, honestly. We can just have it do zip file encoder and just have it be void. You could watch an old horror movie and make a game off that concept. Bro, I don't think I'm good at creating horror games. Like, yeah, I tried before, but it kind of sucked ass. I don't know if I ever released the game though. Should you write notes for your code? Ideally, you want your code to be self-documenting. So I tend to have like all of my functions, all of my variable names be as detailed as possible. I'm not putting like one single comment like X, Y, fuck no. Right? You have an LSP for a reason. You have an editor for a reason. If you think it's gonna take too long to type, just tab complete, bro. Like making your code self-documenting is important. But I do write notes for my code in certain parts where I feel like it's harder to tell what's going on in the code. For example, in like drawing provider, for example, this is a crazy file because this is like my entire drawing system I built by hand, like including path simplification, all that stuff. So I have comments in here telling me, for example, like when I'm doing path simplification, I'm like, yo, this is what the fuck is going on. So if I come back like 3 months later, I still know what's going on here. Right? I wrote this 8 months ago. But yeah. Well, you're on the Zed team? Oh my god, wait, that's crazy. That's crazy. Somebody just like put me on to Zed. Like, was it 1 week ago? So yeah. I really like how it is right now. Um, I guess I don't want to like dump feedback, but my current secret issue is that it's kind of hard to have the Flutter debugger working in here. I know you guys don't want to have like custom dApp extensions and all that stuff. Um, so yeah, I honestly, I'm just thugging it out right now. I can build like different like tasks and stuff. I really like the little like task system. I built one for like auto building my application because previously I would have to run like multiple commands, but now I can just like a task and be like Alt T, and then it just builds the entire application and opens the file for me. Yippee, nice. I haven't started using the Vim keybind stuff yet. That's just me not learning that yet. But yeah, yeah. Also, yeah, this is just some people have it working in a pseudo like working way, but it's just like it's hard to get like the my errors to show up in the console here. Some people have it, but some people like let me find the right issue for it. Flutter debug or dev tools z debug. Because I was looking at there's different issues open for it. Blah, 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 blah. Here, there's one that's open. Is this the open one? This is the open one. And it was closed in favor of okay, so okay. Yeah. Something about like you guys not having this, whatever. I don't really care that much, right? It's just that it's hard to like use an editor that doesn't have built-in support for that. Yeah. We should circle back and improve. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But don't rush yourselves. I know open source is a lot. I'm working on my open source application as well. So y'all take your time with that. If you do end up doing it, hey, that's fire. But yeah, I really love the work at Zed. I love, bro, like using this shit is so much more smoother than VS Code. Because I only have 16 gigabytes of RAM. And I'm streaming as well on OBS and on TikTok Studio. And like not lagging while typing is kind of crazy. I really love that. But yeah, but the Flutter experience is absolutely manageable, I would say. It's not too hard. Zed is a code editor. Yeah, yeah, yes it is. Yes it is. Um, where is my super suit? Love to hear from that. There's a lot of work to build from ground up. Yeah, so long road to a 1.0. Definitely, definitely. We're working on it. Yeah. Also, I love you guys' websites. Like this and like the key binds for like downloading. I thought it wouldn't work when I first saw it, but it actually worked. That's like actually crazy work. Y'all got some good design on you. I really like it. Thanks for the follow, Mark. But all right, yeah. What am I looking for here? Uh, uh. Oh yeah, this is the monstrosity I'm writing right now. So we're doing this, and we're adding it to our archive file for each blah 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 blah. We're doing that, and then if we go up here just a little bit, we add to archive, and then we close it. I wonder if when I run it, it's gonna run or it's gonna work rather. Export image zip test. Yeah, Zed comes with extensions for LSPs, so most likely your language has an LSP extension already. So yeah, it should come with LSP. If you're, it depends on what language you're using, but most people are not using like hyper niche languages, so you should be fine. Um, let's see. Did it actually write the file? I didn't error out. That's one thing, right? Okay, so we're gonna change the file format of this to a zip file, and then we're gonna extract it. All right, guys. All right, breathe, breathe. Guys, we're so fucking cooked. Okay, wait. Okay. Uh, dot dot zip question mark. Okay, let's open this again. Extract. No archive found. Oh, let me go into this and turn it into a JSON. I think this might be the JSON file. Is it? Let's open with Zed. Yep. Okay. So congratulations to me. The JSON data is in here. As ugly as it looks right now, right? That means the zipping worked, but it didn't work for images, which is something I will have to address right now. So let's go back to the code and let's look at this. When we're doing this, do we call it for images? No, we don't. That's literally it. So, oh wait. Zip, zip images. Thanks for the kind words, mean a lot to us. We'll keep working to improve all these counters before 1.0. Definitely. I'm keeping an eye on this editor. Daily driving on my Mac as well, because my Mac has low memory as well. Low key, this might be the. I think I'm starting to see a pattern with me. String, tisk. Also, like, you guys should. This, I know this is a minor feature. I know that this is already like implemented technically because I have to do some research to get this working. But having inline like highlighting like this, really cool. I would like that people don't have to go in and like go on GitHub and find some like random like script to plug that in and put it in there so it actually works. So yeah. It's going to be smoother experience on Mac OS since Windows was just released not too long ago. Yeah, I definitely felt Mac OS is definitely smoother, but Windows does not feel bad at all. Like right now, I've been using it for a bit. I did not notice a hitch using Windows. I switched between Sublime and VS. We'll try. If you use Sublime, you might as well try Zen at this point. I feel like this might just be a better experience. Two positional arguments. I need a strategy string, which is fine. It's just gonna be strategy.id, and then we're gonna pass in our zip encoder. Zip encoder cannot be assigned to parameter file. Let's go in here. What are we diddling around here? File is output file. Why do we need an output file again? Question mark. Oh, this is absolutely not needed. Okay, why are we writing our own archive? There. Zip file encoder, and then we make it archive. Boom. Life simplified. Now, when we rerun, like a boss, of course, we do everything like bosses. Let me delete all of this first, though. Delete. Where do I have this open? Probably here. All right. And delete maybe. All right, we'll figure out how to delete later. Alrighty, let's try to run a export and see if it zipped the images. I'll just name it randomly because that's just my passion, putting random strings. All right, let's F2 this into a zip file. I probably should just save it as a zip file outright, but it's nice just testing this stuff. Yes, I want to change it. Wait. Test.zip is better. Yes. Change it because the file is open in Icarus. Uh-oh. Wait, this is an error. Wait. Yo, I'm not sure if you know, but have you seen how much the top Roblox games made? I know Roblox made games make a killing. I know that. They make an absolute killing. I used to want to be a Roblox developer, so I know that much. Write failed from access denied. Huh. Access denied. Let's run this again. I wonder why. Let's go back. Maybe the file does not exist, question mark. Can we delete this? We can delete this. Can I delete this? Because it's open in another application. What do you mean it's open in another application? There's no application open right now. This is why I don't like Windows, by the way. Windows will never tell you where it's open. Close the file folder, and try again. I'll assume zip test is open in the app. Let's kill the app and run it again. I think there's a lot we need to fix here. All right, let's run a task. How's it going, Linux? How's it going, guys? Let's see if that works for me. Also, why did it go to my my hotbar instead of below in the command line? All right, we can close this as well since I just ended it. What type of app? I'm making a open source Valorant strategy tool. It's a tool to allow Valorant players and Valorant pro esports teams to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So within the game of Valorant, there are very multiple different types of abilities, right? All heroes have 4 different abilities and they all have different sizes, different ranges. And when you're in esports teams, you want to create really complex and really granular plans, right? And without having a tool like this that brings in all of that in-game context and all of this in-game parameters, it's not impossible to create accurate and like detailed plans, right? So this app does exactly that. So it brings in all of the character's abilities. For example, the ability I'm dragging on the map right now is the ability of a character. The way I scale it, the way I like move it around, this is gonna be accurate to how it functions and behaves within the game, right? So this lets esports teams be able to create like complex, detailed strategies and be able to share them with their team, so everyone understands what the fuck is going on, right? And that's the really important part of it. And also you have like again images and stuff. This is me at a hackathon and my boy. And then we have drawing as well as you can see right here and text. So yeah. Nice speech like sales call. Yeah. I've been practicing like this like every stream. His name isn't even Dara. Yeah, my name is actually Mr. Hackenman 24/7. So yeah. That is a unique idea, not gonna lie. Thank you, man. I actually got it from the way Icarus actually happened was that there's originally a tool that does something like this, but I did not like it at all because one, it was very hostile to the users. It like if you didn't have a subscription, you would lose all your data. Like you lose access to it unless you subscribed again. And I felt like, hey, if you're making people invest a lot of their time into your ecosystem, you better damn well give them a way to leave when they want to. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fix this myself, right? And I just did that. What do you think? Do you really need college to do apps? I don't think you need college to do apps. I built this app before I got into college. This app was started like 11 months ago. If you go to my drawing file, you could actually see like drawing provider. If you scroll all the way down, these PRs are made for 8 months ago. They were made when I was in high school, right? So I learned how to program just like self-taught like my entire time. This was a rough process, but it happened, and I'm pretty good at it now. I would say college is definitely gonna make it easier to do so. Like self-learning was like hellish because like again, I didn't have a teacher or a guide. It's definitely improved when ChatGPT came out because now I can ask questions and like not get like shit on Stack Overflow. But yeah, you could also add this to your list of projects, right? If you want to drop. Yeah, it's already on my list of projects actually. You know what? Actually, like I committed a PR to the Flutter repo by using this through this project because I found an issue that was within the framework itself, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take it upon myself to fix this issue, and I did. So you can see contributions right there. Um. But did I write the code or did I co-pilot it? Okay. So the way I like to approach Copilot is that I like to use it for things I couldn't care less about, right? So for example, if I wanted to add a button right there on the screen, I've added a button like 30 million times, right? So I don't care about the process of adding a button. I can just ask GPT, yo, do it, right? But when I want to do stuff that's really granular, for example, what I'm doing right now is I'm changing the way files are being exported. I want to make it so like they're actually in a zip file and not in the JSON file because images to JSON, no bueno. It works, but it doesn't work well, and I'm trying to fix that, right? And yeah, and through this process I'm actually trying to be within the code because if I fuck something up, that's gonna ruin a lot of people's strategies because now I have users, right? If I vibe code and fuck something up, there's actually gonna be consequences, right? So I want to be in there and in the code, but early on in the application, yes, I did like GPT Gen a lot because again, I was trying to be quick and fast. But eventually, I waned off of it because I need to be accurate as well as fast, and that's important. Um, yeah, let's see. What am I looking for here? Up, up. Ooh. Oh yeah, we're trying to see if exporting works again. Export. Blah 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 blah. Export. Oh shit. Yes. Blah, 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 blah. See to download the IGF. Error. OS access denied. Duh, duh, duh. Let me ask GPT what the fuck is going on here. I'm a bit confused as to why that is. Is it that the file doesn't exist, or like I'm confused on that level. Let's GPT. What is the keybind for GPT here? I think I can just bring it here. All right. Yeah. And what code am I looking for again? It's right here. It's this entire block of code. Alrighty. Let's copy and paste this. Copy here. Copy. Undo that. I want to go. Whoop. What feature is this? Yeah, this is Flutter. And then we plop that error in there as well. I wish you could. If the Z guy is still there, can you add it so you can like highlight a string of text and put it into like context? Because that's really cool. I want to be able to do that. Okay, and yeah, honestly, let's drop this. I feel like that's not enough context for GPT, but it knows what it's doing. Mm, mm. Uh, await zip images, zip encoder. I mean, we've created the Yappa file. I wonder where the error is happening. If we can, because it created the file last time, right? Yes, look in the command palette, add selection to agent selection to thread. Wait, hold on, let me check that. Add or command palette is command shift C, add agent selection. Wait, hold on. Agent. Add selection. Oh, ooh, control shift period. All right, got it. Blah, 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 hitting a Windows file system exception, blah, 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 zip encoder, folder protection, permissions, controlled access. The folder is already open or locked by a previous run. I think that's what's happening. Path, occasionally return a path with trailing spaces. Zip file encoder is streaming mode while wait. Okay, wait. Streaming mode while something in zip images attempts to concurrent writes before closing and leaving the partially open file. What is this app for? This is it's okay. Let me backtrack, right? I'm working on Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool for Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game, right? So in the game of Valorant, right, you need to create in order to create really detailed strategies, you need to have something that pulls in all the context within the game, right? And Valorant's a hero shooter, right? There's like each agent has 4 different abilities. So all these abilities have different parameters, different sizes, different ways they go on the map. And without having a tool that brings in all that context, it's really difficult. For example, all these 3 abilities you see here are one for one how you would see them in the game, right? So if we were to go into the game of Valorant and like pop these abilities down, these would scale directly to how it would be on the map, right? You notice how like different maps have different scaling because that's just how it is in the game, right? And using this tool is really impactful for Valorant teams as they're able to create cohesive like strategies while also like taking notes as well. And here, so you can add images, write text, draw things. So yeah, that's basically what it is. It's a strategy creation tool, rather like note-taking, dynamic note-taking strategy creation tool ish. I haven't figured out like what to call it. Like, you know what I mean? I mean, yes, it is a strategy creation tool, but what is a strategy? You know what I mean? Okay. I feel like if let's extract the entire let's see, the entire zip images function. It's async. This is not async at all. Let's do this, right? Let's take the entire zip images function. Blah, 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 blah. Let's pull it right here. So then I can start a new. Am I gonna make it free? Yeah, it is free. It's open source and free right now. But when I do get to adding online features that will cost me money, I will be charging for those. But apart from that, if you're not touching online, you're doing all your stuff locally, it'll remain free. And also, I need to get some bread as well. I'm a broke college student. New thread. All right, let's try the attach context thing. That so it's if I remember, it's Control Alt period. Yes. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. That's nice. Okay, and now I want to drop the error in again just so I get a second chance at it. So now it has context of like what the fuck is going on, and then that should be fine. Archive the add file. And is this future? It's future. I'm awaiting all of these, right? I'm not missing anything. Let me nuke all these comments because it makes it hard to read. Like genuinely. Okay, so let's go back for a bit. Boop. And boop. Alright, that should be fine. No, it's all one singular stick. Okay, GPT takes forever to like answer my questions. So let's try to debug ourselves. So we're creating the output file. Is this nope, this is not feature as well. So I want to make sure I'm not skipping any awaits and stuff is not writing like overlapping each other rather. Future zip encoder close. Is this future? This is future. We're awaiting it as well. A GPT is taking quite a while to analyze this. I wonder why. Because it was working without like art archive, without zip images rather. So I feel like zip images is the issue. Controlled photo access, file when names already read or locked by another process. Allowed extensions should be specified without the dot for file picker. It doesn't understand that. You actually need the dot for that. And make the save flow resilient. Ensure the okay. Has an archive suffix. The file picker may not force it. Don't worry, it already does. Yeah, GPT sometimes doesn't know what the fuck it's talking about. Fix zip images. Guard if images directory does not exist. And for avoid for each async, use await for. Okay. For each with async. Let's do that. I'm doing this in zip images, right? Which is right here. And I'm doing for each. I don't like that. Okay. So what did it suggest for zip file, whatever? Await for final entity. All right. You can copy that and just put that there. Yep. Okay. Now we can try this and see. What do you think about Quen? I don't like it. I don't care much for obscure Chinese models. Sorry to say, I'm not with the hype, honestly. I much prefer to just use like GPT or Claude. Like they're mainstream and supported in every IDE. And I've often found like they have better results, anyways. So yeah. Because again, my use case, I'm never running into any failures. Rather, do I have any other projects? I have like a couple. I mean, this is my current like main working project. I'm working on it for like what, 11, 12 months, right? Other projects I have my grade calculator for my school. This is fire. A bunch of people still use it in my high school. So I graduated and I still have some legacy there, I guess. My notes app. This is like more of like I did a tutorial and then I kind of diverged from the tutorial and added a lot more features to the application, which was a very good learning experience, I would say. This is my approach for learning in general. And I have some random other niche projects like my LinkedIn banner creator as linked thing. I probably should promote this more, but I don't have the time for that anymore. So yeah. But yeah. Do you work on your own projects or do you just contribute to GitHub? I work on my own projects usually. Sorry if I sound malicious right now. Generally, just trying to get. No. Hey, how do you sound malicious? No. That's fine. That's fine, man. You're cool. You're cool. I'm here to like answer questions, bro. You're cool. You're cool. Yeah, gauging yourself is really important. I'd also say like the best way I used to gauge myself is just go to hackathons and meet people my age, so I know, hey, am I goated or am I Laurie? And usually what I learn is that I'm not goated at all, and I need to go back and I need to put in the work. Uh, yeah, hot restart. Let's see if we can try to export again. Export. image test Ica. We're still getting that error. Path is just access denied, huh? Wait, why is that? Wait, hold on. It's saying that this path is access denied, right? But that's not the path and I'm using anymore. No, there's no such file as that. Oh, I guess this is right here, right? I can delete that. But when I'm exporting here, oh, why does it keep saying this is being used by something? I guess because it never fully quit. Okay, let's put a try catch statement so we don't error out. Boop, boop, boop. Yo, I had some people edit README files so it shows they contribute to big projects. Yeah, somebody did that to mine. I look, he got finessed. But that's fine. I don't care that much. He watches my stream a lot, so yeah, this guy just like edited a README file. I mean, which is fine, I guess. But yeah. What's my app? My app is a open source Valorant strategy creation tool. Hold up. Oh, that's exactly why it was bugging me out. So sorry. I just figured out another issue. Boom. Wait. This might be the reason why I've been erroring out. Export. Image test Ica. Nope, it's not the reason I've been erroring out. Okay. I'm building an open source Valorant strategy creation tool. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game, right? So within the game of Valorant, especially for esports teams, you need to create very detailed strategies because again, it is a tactical shooter, right? Tactics and abilities, right? And each character has 4 different abilities, and each of these abilities have different parameters and different ways they interact with the map. And without having a tool that brings in all of the context of the game, all the maps, all the abilities, all their constraints, all their sizes, it's pretty hard to like make detailed strategies. For example, now all these like 3 abilities you see, I just drag them on, right? They're all one-to-one accurate within the game, right? So if we were to go within the game of Valorant, this ability will be one-to-one accurate within the game. And that's exactly the main goal of this, right? Try to bring in all the context of the game in there, as well as all of the like images and stuff. Like, so if you want to add images and stuff for note taking, there's also text as well, and drawing for like drawing stuff in relation to that. But yeah, I used to play CS. There's other website like this made, like made when I was 10. What sets yours apart? My main thing is that it's local first, and that means you own your data, right? Nobody's gonna like kill you for that data. Also, it's on your computer is really performant. That as well. What else? I would say you can add images and like do all that stuff and like add multiple pages and stuff. The main thing is that you own your data, and the UI and UX is really good. That's my main focus. My main focus is, hey, I want to create something that people can use and looks really cool. Right? It feels nice to use, and everything's like saves screen space rather than wasting it, which I feel a lot more applications do. Um, so yeah, what am I looking for here? Um, zip file encoder create. So we're having this error where it's saying that this path access error denied. So item access file, write stream, write bytes. I feel like the moment we nuke up zip images, it works perfectly fine. File so let's reload here. The UI is really good, thank you, man. Yeah, that's like what I mostly like drilled down on mentally. If I go in here, a file already exists for that. You edit live. The struggle is writing unique file names. I think that's my main struggle. New file life. Okay, nice. Oh wait, alrighty. Okay. Are you writing tests for this project? I tried to write a test once. I gave up on writing that test. I probably should write tests. I'm probably gonna write a test for like data integrity for when things are saved back and forth. But apart from that, that should be fine. Because when I mess up the saving data, sometimes shit hits the fan. But I notice stuff before it usually goes through. Let's see. Hopefully I'm not ignoring YouTube chat too much. I don't check YouTube chat a lot because there's not a lot of people on YouTube anyways. All good, Neff. You got plenty of time for test-driven dev. Yeah. TDD, my worst nightmare. All right. Wait. Okay. So the moment we kill this, hold on. Let me. I think I peeped something that's really important here, right? Oh, hold on. Right. Let me save this. When I go in and I export and I will save this as Young Money Clan. Those who know, Young Money Clan, right? When we open this, are there two files here? Or are there, okay, there's only one file here. Okay. Also, why is zip test still open by another application? There is no application right now that's using zip test. Do I have to figure this out? All right, let's do this. I think that's where my issue is coming from. How to find out what app is using a file on Windows. I think it's process editor or something. PowerShell method. The open files map. Support for local files enabled by running files and restarting. Resource monitor. All right, let's do this. Resource monitor. I'm sure this would have been easier if it was Mac OS, but who gives a fuck? Resource monitor. And then as a button called performance. Where's that at? Oh, never mind. Go to CPU. All right, go to processes. And in the search field, use associated handles. Where's that? Yep, associated handles. And then see a blue arrow in the screenshot below? Yes. When you found the handle, you can identify a process by looking at the image or PID column, right? You can then try to close the application as you normally would. My question is that oh, you have to search the file, huh? Okay. So let's just search up zip tests. Zip tests. Searching for zip tests. Okay, we're in the search process. I don't know why it's taking so long, but we'll wait, I guess. Oh, there it is. A node. Oh, Zed. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Zed. Hold on. Hold on. That's why I wasn't closing. I had it open in my IDE. Yes. I'm the smartest human ever. Well, I guess I learned something new again. Holy crap. Okay. Now we can safely assume that's not the issue. And yeah, okay, let's restart here. And let's try to export again. Image text.ica. And again, we are not erroring out whenever we don't have like images, right? So the issue is happening right here in zip images, right? So low key, I'm gonna bring zip images up a directory and see what it is exactly. So I'm gonna bring zip images up a directory, and essentially what we're doing is zip images is that we're going to archive, we're adding a file to the archive that we've already created, and then we are going through that process. Okay. And we're waiting for each one, right? Add file is this image directory dot list. Why is this not working? Let's go to the docs for this. Let's see. Create a output.zip. Manually create a out of a directory called out, and then we can add a file called test zip, and then close it. What are they doing here? Um. Also, do I write close sync? What is it between close and close sync? Let's try that. Close. Oh, we can close synchronously, which is fine. Thanks for the sunflower, I guess. Um, yeah, they did the same thing I did here. Um, mm, mm, mm. Okay, okay, I'll try. I'll try this and zip a directory using out.zip, and then we're taking this directory out. Zip directory. File name is out. Now we're gonna take out, and then we're gonna add the entire directory out, and then we're gonna export it as this. Okay, okay. I'm learning a little bit. Question mark. And out2.zip. So out2.zip takes, what the fuck is going on? Okay. 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 All right. I'm gonna take all the stuff that's happening in here and I'm going to elevate it so we can get better testing going. I'm back. I didn't know Dara the LARPer stayed on live this long. Yes, I have a lot of time today. I'm not doing shit, so this is essentially what I'm. Although I have a group project I'm supposed to be working on right now, I'll get to it eventually. Strategy ID is gonna be strategy .id. All right. So we have this. This is going to be. This is the output file we have, and this is going to be the whatever we have right here now, right? And then boop, 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 file path directory, and we're basically saying yelp for every entity for every file. Zip encoder dot add file entity, right? This is a future. We need to await this, and let's try that now. Dara's the #1 LARP. I'm ranked one on #1 LARP simulator. No, I'm not. I'm not a LARPer. Oh shit. Did I end it? I think I did. Oh, that's my fault. I gotta run it again. Alt T for the run. Let's get that going. Of course, I don't know why it runs in here. I think I put in the settings to run in the dock instead of like in my terminal folder. I have to change that. But apart from that, it should be fine. Let's see. Hopefully it build. Oh, that was a fast build. All right. So let's do this and let's export. So export image test. Oh, nope. Okay. Nope. We're going to do it. Test number 78. Did we error out? No, we didn't. Holy crap, guys. We didn't error out. So let's go in here. Zip. And yes, change the file. Yes. Now I want to extract the zip file into test 78. Now in test 78, we have the images. Classic. Yep. That was pretty fire. Wait. Okay. That's pretty fire. Nice. Ain't no way you're a freshman. Yeah, I'm a freshman. I just spawned into it. I've been like, programming since high school though. Well, since high school? Yeah, I mean early middle school would be the better way to say it. So yeah. Let's see though. We got the zip file and now it's working. Good on me, right? Now we have to kill the rest of the process, right? So now we have to go into the export data. So let's go export. It's going to be in pages, strategy page. And we want to change how image data is being exported. So when we go to image provider.json, I love tech and AI. Me too, man. Our AI, yeah, it look cool, but yeah. Okay, from JSON. I'm gonna need two from Jason's chat. I'm gonna need two. I'm gonna need a legacy one that takes the already like the old version that has all of the JSON data still inside of it, and then I'm gonna have a current one. Right. So let's make this legacy. Legacy from JSON. Yes, it's working on. And now we can go in here and we can be, bro, I can't believe how, like, the fact that my application is like only a year old and I already have a bunch of legacy methods. Imagine how like full blown like Windows or like Teams is, like all these applications that have been long supported for many years. It's probably a lot of like stupid legacy methods there. I'll probably kill myself off that. All right. So place image serializer. Honestly, we can kill this entire process right here. So future await to JSON. Because reading button back isn't a secrets operation, this method should be called outside. Okay, yeah. JSON back to place image. So honestly, we don't need to do that. Place image. Let's go to place image. Honestly, placed classes, placed image, and JSON serializable. So we just let it fly, honestly, and then we don't worry about the rest. So essentially, what I want to do here is be like, oh, where's image stuff again? I've low-key lost the plot. Here it is. From JSON, right? I want to remove the when we decode and we rewrite like images right here. So we can kill this, honestly. Future, I wait, this is images. Let's place image. Can't we just do this? Placed image dot from JSON. Place image is in returnable in the future. Okay, we don't kill the future here. How about this? Bro, do you even sleep? Yes, I try to sleep. I think I got like 7 hours yesterday, which was all right. I usually try to like do more, but I've low-key like developed a caffeine addiction that's kind of bad. But I don't like sleep pretty late. I just sleep at a regular time. Placed image dot I have a from JSON, right? From JSON. And the from JSON, we can just take this JSON list as map string dynamic. That should be fine. And then of course it's meant to return a list of images. So technically we need to do this instead of that. Now of course return type place image isn't I can't read this error, can I? Let's see. Place image in turbo from future tip as the function requires closure from context. Oh, wait, what are we from JSON? Place image.json. Go to place image. Huh? Very confused here. Isn't returnable because. Oh yeah, why are we putting a future here? There, that's it. Okay. Alright, now images is not is a type of course to list. And then we can do that. JS modded a PS3, fat cleaned, and repasted. Added a 750 gigabyte. Oh my god. Holy crap. Yo, back in the days, didn't they used to use like PS3s for like supercomputers? Like they like link them in tandem or some shit. The PS3 might be the most goated what is it? Most goated console ever. Yes, U.S. Air Force. Yeah, PS3 is fucking goated. All right. I'll assume from JSON. Okay, so we can kill this. Yes, we're killing this. All right. Now, well, technically, I don't need a legacy JSON thing. I can probably all do this in one go if I keep this here. So just something to note. I'll probably have to come back to this later. The one I want to watch out for is to JSON. Do we have a to JSON here? Object to JSON, which is usually what I need to do, right? Um, so we're gonna nuke this. We're actually gonna do this. They're gonna have, I know, list of, oh, this is fire. We're gonna nuke this part. State.images.map. We're gonna add this here, and we're gonna actually map image, not to replace image serializer. It's CFW compatible, but I prefer hand. I don't know why. I mean, that's just you though. The semaphore fat looks better in my room. To be honest, I would assume so. Play, pay, blah blah blah. Image to JSON. Of course, we don't need this bullshit. Oop. And member to JSON cannot be accessed during using static access. Why not? Image to JSON. Oop. Value of map iterable string dynamic cannot be assigned to. What's the error? Give me the error. Cannot be assigned to variable list. To list question mark? To list. Oop. Hey, nice. All right. So this is essentially the new base for to JSON. Honestly, you don't even need a legacy for this because we are not going to be creating legacy stuff anymore. We are just going to plop this right here. Oop. Of course, I can just have this entire stick right here. Do I have object to JSON? I think I do. How do I do object to JSON here? Oh no, it's the same thing to JSON. And then we just nuke this right here. The CPU is hotter than the RSX. Yes, it's working. It's working. Fuck. The getter. Okay. To list. Oh, wait, I think I messed something up. Let's go back for a second. Images.map. And then we can just nuke this to on the map feature. Wait, why is to JSON a feature? Oh no, we're not awaiting a feature. Let's just nuke this part as well. And the value of string to list rather. There it is. Wasn't hard, was it? Well, it was slightly hard. Okay. Now we're gonna compare the two file sizes, right? So hopefully this export method should work. It should work. 100%. No way it doesn't work. Right, guys? All right. Export. All right. Slim version. This is my PS4 Slim, guys. Slim version. And then in the slim version, we're gonna have to F2 and we're gonna change it to a zip file. Yes, slim version. And I want to open this extract, of course. Let's extract it right here. WinRAR the fucking goat. Yo, how do I learn backend like building REST API endports? Honestly, I don't know what the best way to do that is. And WebSockets. Oh, for WebSockets, I had to learn like just like I went to a hackathon. I just like learned everything in one day. Um, I would say just build something that needs REST API stuff. So maybe like a basic CRUD web app that can upload images to and like use REST APIs. And for WebSockets, try like what would involve web? Because the thing I had to do that involved WebSockets was like GPT generation. So like voice model interacting with voice for models because you have to have a WebSocket that will automatically listen to every packet and send it to the like GPT or Gemini or whatever, and then you get a return on that, right? Tutorial on how to stop being a tutorial demon. The best way to stop being a tutorial demon is to say fuck tutorials, bro. Just start doing shit yourself. Instead of watching a tutorial for everything, to do the entire thing, start doing the thing yourself and then watch tutorials for small little things you want to add. So whenever you're confused, how do I do this? Search up how do I do this, right? Just that specific thing. Don't search how do I build an entire application from start to finish because you're not going to learn that much, right? You want to be able to dynamically just go in and out and like, you know what I mean? Right? So long story short, just do the shit yourself and like search up resources on how to do it little by little. We can support XFAT and not the fat and not FAT32 only. Damn, I remember when I had to like go to like because like I had a whole PC and I wanted to install an ISO file on it and I had to change the like file format for that. Well said, thank you, man. Do you auto clip your lives? No. You know, actually, what I do is that whenever I'm live streaming, because before I thought I would auto clip my lives, right? So now my new version, as you saw yesterday, I posted like 4 videos in one day yesterday. My new method is that I actually use the TikTok highlight feature. So whenever somebody asks me a question, I kind of go into video production mode, and then I just like shoot a quick video right here on live, right? And I just click highlight on TikTok, and TikTok saves that. So when I go back later, I can see clips that I've clipped myself, and I go back and I just like literally spend like 5 minutes cutting them and just uploading them. I got a spam of clips in like less than an hour. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to spam the algorithm. Although I don't think I have too many clips from today because today I'm low-key low on energy. I took a bunch of caffeine in the morning and now I'm like, experiencing the crash. Thanks for the follow, AB. I think I got maybe one or two good clips from today, which is fine. I mean, I don't need to upload 4 videos every other day. Like, you know what I mean? Let's see this right here. So the slim version, opened, images are there. Well, that's not slim, is that? Oh wait, I never reran. Holy shit. All right, that's not this is the real slim version. All right. Slim. What am I building? I'm building an open source Valorant strategy creator. So give me a second. PT2. All right. This is a tool called Icarus. It's a tool to allow Valorant players and Valorant pro teams especially to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So you see, when you are an esports team or like someone who's really like high level at the game in general, the strategies you plan for the game get really complex. You need to be able to create very detailed strategies, right? But it's hard to plan detailed strategies, especially for the game of Valorant, without having context from the game. Why? Because Valorant's a hero shooter, right? Valorant has 16 different characters, all with 4 unique abilities. And each of these abilities have different parameters, different sizes, different ways they behave. And without having a way to model that accurately as it would be within the game, it's nigh impossible to create accurate strategies, right? So this is exactly what that is. So you have all the abilities within the game of Valorant. So for example, this is the ability from our character. And the sizing and the spacing of this ability from like how it behaves in the game is actually just 1-for-1 within the game. So if you were to go within the game and open a game on Valorant, right? And you were to like use this ability and you were to draw it on here and check it, it would cross check, it would be 1-for-1 with the game, right? And also brings in other tools, like for example, like notes, images, as you can see here, text, and also drawing, right? Makeastake.com predictor laws. Yeah, those sites are usually gamified towards the people, so it's kind of impossible unless you have the raw weights for that. And still, since it's randomness, you technically can't predict it unless you have the seed for the randomness. But you get what I'm saying. Did I save it? Or did I get into an error? Uh, Slim, Slimver PT2 question mark? Did that work? Oh, there it is. Nice. Okay. Let's turn this into a zip file. Hold on. Have I ever worked with phones? Yeah, I've made like mobile apps before. Uh, Bloop, bloop, bloop. All right, let's go in and let's go up. Boop. All right. Oh my God, this is beautiful to see, by the way. Now, the ICAP file is 9 kilobytes. 9 fucking kilobytes. That's really useful to see. So 9 kilobytes compared to here, if you go back to the what is it? The fat version. The big fat big boy version. It's actually 8 kilobytes, right? 8,000 kilobytes or 8 megabytes rather. Very, very expensive. Now let's compare the file sizes of these two files. So the slim version file size is 11. Oh, and the test version is how much? 11 as well. Oh, never mind. This is the actual real version. This version should be 5. Yes, it's working. We just reduced the file size from what was it before? Like fully written. I wonder what it was before fully written. Let me go into my recycle bin. Check it out. Recycle bin. I'm building a open source Valorant strategy planner tool. Icarus is a tool to allow Valorant players, especially Valorant pros in general, to be able to plan strategy tools. Sorry, to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game, right? So it brings in all of the abilities within Valorant as well as your ranges and all of the context you need to plan strategies for like esports teams and all that stuff. And it also lets you take notes in addition. So like images, text, and drawing. So it makes it really easy to coordinate with your team and create plans and like stuff that you can share amongst each other. Right. And that's the basic like gist of it. That is. Um excuse me, doctor. Let's go by date modified rather. And let's just go look at the old ones. Zip test, image test. This was 7 megabytes rather. 7 megabytes compared to what we have right now is 5 megabytes. So we just cut the image size file in fucking half. We chopped it off. All right, I'm gonna stop being dramatic, but you know what I mean, right? We chopped it off. It's in half now, right? So that's very important. It's gonna make it very easy, more easier for people to like transfer files back and forth. Very good. I want to take this file and use it so I can do backwards compatibility check. Optimize, yes, fucking optimize. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I want to take this and like do backward compatibility checks. So now I have to make sure that all the people who have done their stuff in the old way can still be able to get it into the application in the new way without breaking. Right? That's what I want. So let's undo the deletion of this file. Zip file, undo. How do I restore? Can I rename this file while it's not saved? That would be fun. Can I rename it? No, I can't rename it. Oh shit. That's fine. Let me restore it and replace the file in destination. Yep. All right. Okay. Now we've got to fix a couple of things here. So when we are generating the file into, hold on, image export. Hey, wait, I'm in the wrong place. Export right here. All right. Export. There. Okay. Now, when we are exporting this and when we're encoding the page to a JSON, like chats, like fucking chats, right? What we want to do is that when we are adding, where is this? Strategy.name, we want to add .ica to the mix. So let's just do this right now. We're gonna do some string concatenation. So whoop. And then we are going to have this be and then not .json but rather .ica. Well, Could I make a .json if I wanted? Yeah, but do I want to not reuse my old systems? No, I want to keep reusing my old systems. Um, Yo, bro, you got any private lessons or not? Nah, I don't do any like tutorial teaching people thing because I feel like that takes away the honesty in my things. Like I like to a lot of people when they like start doing like tutorials and methods, they start focusing more on the money than actually teaching people. And I want to make sure that hey, I'm not a teacher because I can't look to learn programming. You have to do a lot of the stuff yourself. And a lot of people when they start doing lessons and courses, they like to teach you that hey, that you don't have to do all the stuff yourself. Just like stick with me and you'll make it. But no, there's a lot of effort that's required on your part. And I feel like the method which I'm teaching people now is much more better than hey, if I was gonna do like a course or something. I don't. That feels icky to me. I don't like it. Um, use AI when you code. Yeah, I literally got GPT right on the side here because I was debugging, trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. But my approach to using AI is a little bit more different to like just like using it to write all my stuff because a lot of times it gets stuff wrong. Like it did get stuff wrong exactly from where I am, what I was doing here, right? So you need to actually have context and know what the fuck you're doing first before that happens. Uh, what about you? Do you have any ideas on like bypassing or not? Not no, not really. I don't have any ideas on bypassing anything. Rather, uh, let's see this. I want to take okay. So the export file is here. We're cool. I wonder if I should change because the reason why I named it because all of this is actually a JSON file, right? But the reason why I put .ica is to make sure that users who don't know what the fuck they're doing don't start going around and editing files and fucking up their data. Because some file editors can open JSON files. I don't want it to like to people think that it's the wrong thing. You know what I mean, right? Um, can I give you advice if you ever get into modding consoles? Yeah, definitely. I've never had a console in my life, like actually, still no console. I've been PC all the way. Let's see, strategy name ICA. I wonder, is there a point to even giving them the ICA name format here? Tisk, tisk, tisk. Um, I guess it's important. I guess. Yeah, it's fine. I think it's fine to leave them as ICA. This makes more sense. Um, okay. Now we have them as ICA, right? So the next step is to change how we are importing files. So import from X file. This is it. Load from freaking X file. Right. So before we get here, we have to extract the two different things. We have to extract the images and copy them over. Then we have to extract the JSON and pass it on to this method to do all that JSON-y crap that it normally does, right? So let's do this. Never use Wi-Fi on older generation consoles or Wii or PS3. Oh, use Ethernet for modding. It's because like the Wi-Fi like things are like not good. Like the receivers rather or connectors or modems rather. Final. Uh, that makes sense. Data. No. I want to take this file and I want to unarchive it. And there's a lot of docs for that actually. So we can go in there and figure it out. So extract the context of a zip file to the disk. And yeah, decode a zip file, stream input. And we have archive, and then we go to extract the context of the zip archive to disk. Uh-oh. That's an issue, isn't it? Sorry. I'm thinking about when I'm adding. Okay, I shouldn't think too far ahead. Let's try to get this as a basis done because I want to add multi strategy exporting, and that's gonna involve like passing different datas and writing them to different places. Uh, but I shouldn't be thinking about that right now. I should be thinking about what I'm writing right now, rather. Okay. I got a mini PC with 2 GB of RAM, no storage. No storage. Holy crap. Are you running off a USB like drive or something? Like how do you have no storage, chat? What are you doing? Oh yes, it uses. Oh, it's uh, you load it from a like a what's it called? Like the Linux bootables, whatever. So no, some old. Oh, okay, okay. Uh, decode. Extract the contents of a zip file to disk. Um, input file stream, and then we want to get this and decode the stream, and then we want to take the archive and take the files in the archives, and then we can do stuff from that. Hey, all right, that's fire. Hey, I recently got invited to do an OA for Amazon SD intern. What's important to know in prep? Honestly, I couldn't tell you anything because I got in through the Amazon Future Engineer program. So I never actually had to take the interview. I had to like do a bunch of stuff like the other way. So I have zero like advice to give you. I would say the basic stuff. Hey, lock in your leak code, the classic. Try to like talk through your problems. I've seen a lot of people like actually just get through the entire leak code stuff and fail the behavior interviews, which kind of sucks. So make sure you understand Amazon's like principles in the first place, so you can kind of align yourself towards that, so you don't fail the behavior interviews. And apart from that, you should be. I mean, it's good luck for me, honestly. That's all I can give you right now. Uh, Make a website with N10 plus. What is that? N10 plus. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. And what? Oh my fucking God. What was that? Oh, what did you just make me search up, bro? All right, we're gonna recover our composure. I'm not even sure if I want to post that. I'm good. No, 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 no. You're good. You're good. You're good. You're good. I didn't think you would search for real, but I thought, you know what? That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. That's on me. But that is a clippable moment though. But I don't know if I want to like put that on clip. Like, is it worth is it clippable chat? Oh, you guys didn't even see it? Don't worry, you don't want to see it. If it's quite inappropriate. Okay. Input file stream from X file. Blah blah blah. Tentacles, you know that much, yeah. All right. Extract the files. Uh, I want to see the archive package, and then let's see, usage files test.zip, read as byte array sync, archive zip decoder bytes, and for entry in archive file, entry is file, find file bytes, read file bytes, and then this is file out, um, the create write sync. All right. Um, Entry is file. Where did file come from? This entry file. I'm a bit confused. How's it going, A-Ban? Yeah, I should just shut up and let you code alone. No, bro, I'm here to chat with y'all, bro, so it doesn't matter that much. Thanks for the likes as well. Hold on. Let me hit this up. Final bytes. Do I got this? I got this. 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 Okay, we can go through this. All right, final input is equal to x file. What is it going on again? Dot read bytes. Dot read file dot read as bytes. Read as bytes, and this is going to be async, which is fine, honestly. Can I do this synchronously? Nope. Read as bytes, so it is. And you know any other language except from English? I know Yoruba, and I'm learning Japanese right now, so that's like the pretty two different languages I'm currently like on the know on right now. Oh wait, would be bytes, and then I want to take this and be like file input is equal to, and then we can just do this decode bytes, and we can pass in bytes right here. The Japanese is tough, yeah. It's low-key kind of, I mean, I've been fine in the class. I'm taking it in college because my college requires 3 years of a language. And I was like, you know, fuck, might as well just take Japanese and move on with my life. And then in the archive, right? For every file in the archive, we are going to, what the fuck? Wait, file close. Okay, what we want is so is this a file? Just like a regular, it's an archive file. Okay, final archive file. If is file, if file dot, what else? I'm learning Turkish right now. Fire. How do you like it? File dot content. I think that's what I want. File content, raw content. File dot content question mark. Can I do that? Alias to read as bytes kept for backwards compatibility. So technically I just read as bytes. Read as bytes. Okay, so we have to check if it starts with whatever, if it's a zip file. Well, okay, let's just assume it's a zip file rather, and we can just check. Hold on, give me a hot second here. I want to make sure that I'm writing some foolproof code here. So if a file dot, not even that, but I just want the name of the file rather. Name. How dare you assume the gender of the zip file? Did I say the? Oh, my fault. You know, I honestly, sincerely apologize. Um, I honestly like that's my fault. Like honestly, I apologize. I made a bad decision. I'm so sorry. Say sorry to the zip file. Okay. Zip file. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to wrongly identify, uh, assume your gender. All right. File name and then actually no. What if I'm French? In France. Okay, I'm trolling. Okay. Um, let me see. T3. Okay. I need to do Control Alt period. Right? Is that what it is? Is it Control Shift period? Control Shift period. How do I check if the string has the Ica apart of the end? All right. Let's see. Let's see. I think I have a couple of clips from today's stream. I should be fine for tomorrow. Because honestly, I am not streaming tomorrow at all. I don't have plans for that. Any emails? Shorebird, how's it going? GitHub. Let's look at Shorebird in general. I want to try Shorebird. PS3 is making me want to commit. I would assume so. How slow it is? Is it really that slow? Ship fast, break things. Maybe just ship fast. Pricing, $0 a month from hobbyist. Scalable pricing, $400 a month, and custom for enterprise. Now, my little thing is that about what is the support for this? Getting started, version management checks, code push, system, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Wi-Fi is really slow. I would assume so. How's it going, Fumes? Alrighty, let's see. What was I doing again? Was I in GPT? Okay. Extension file name has like a. Hold on, guys. I'm low-key gonna use the bathroom. Give me a hot second. What do I do when I'm using the bathroom, guys? I usually put on a brain rot video for y'all to watch, cause like I know some people's attention span is kind of crazy. So I'm gonna put a brain rot video. I'm trying to find my. Let me switch to my YouTube video. The shit was else. All right. Let's see. Let's go to my YouTube channel. Put on my video. Oh shit, that's me live. Holy crap. Hold on. Let's put on this video. Boom. All right. Now y'all have free brain rot. I will be back. Ow, my legs hurt. All right, guys, I'm back. Y'all have crazy attention span, bro. Y'all like only one person left. Crazy work. Uh, Dara, I love you. One day I'll be able to code like you. Thanks, Ubi. No way, I found you again. How's it going? Oh, I'm pretty active. TikTok knows what you want, bro. That just means you need to hit the follow right now. Man, who's this boring YouTuber you just put? That's me. Hey, guys. Good. How about you? I'm doing good, bro. I'm trying to add a feature to my application like I always do. No rest for the week, chat. All right. Let's go to. All right. Do I have the path extension here? Yes, I do. All right. Python extension dot file name dot. What are we looking for? Using the path package, a simple check. What is? All right. You got a Discord? You have a Discord server. So if you wanna tap in, drop into the Discord server. Right now it's a little bit dead, but that's fine. It'll become active with more people and more time. How the fuck you learn how to code? I just learned how to code by programming. I know that's crazy to say, but the way I learned how to code was kind of roundabout, very roundabout. I started off with Scratch because I wanted to learn how to make games when I was like 12. And then I made Scratch games for a while. I realized it's kind of limiting. I don't want to do that. And then I went into Roblox games. I fucked around, made a bunch of terrible Roblox games. And then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go to Unity games. I also did the same thing and made terrible games. And I was like, you know what? I'm done with making video games. And then I stopped coding for about 2 years and I got back on it making applications. And since then, I've been doing that, right? The same, like literally, right? And then after that, I just started like just doing stuff and using AI to help with like, hey, how do I do this instead of going and searching online on Stack Overflow. And apart from that, just consistency, bro. Literally showing up every day and putting in the effort to code and program is the meta. Um, every Gen Z programmer got the same lore. Exactly. This shit gotta be studied, bro. From scratch to Roblox to actual full suite has to be studied, bro. I saw this shit happen to everybody. So is Scratch a good base? I would say depending on your age. If you're a little kid, yes, Scratch is definitely a good base. Too Fast, Furious, Things for Fall. Let's see. If file name is freaking packet, I can just assume that much. All right, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop trolling. All right. Path dot. Boop, boop. Okay, path dot extension. And then we want to put the file name. Okay. And then, yep. File dot name equals Ika. Then we move on with our business. Is coding worth learning? I feel like unless you're good as fuck, you can't get a job. Coding is worth learning if you like it, I would say. It's a very good skill in general, but right now in the current market space, I wouldn't advise people to go into programming if they don't like computers or like programming in general. And you're probably gonna be like, how do you learn to know if you like programming? I would say just do it. Do like a simple project, put a calculator or something, build like a little tool for yourself, and it's gonna take you about like a week or a month. And if you really like it, then you can dive into it and you'll be for sure successful. But if you don't go through all that stress and all that trouble. I wouldn't say so. Do I like your PFP? Uh, oh, you guys are talking to each other. Yeah, see, that's the new gens in my chat right there. My two disciples. All right. Now, if it the path is Ica, right? We can do all of this jazz, right? But if it's an image, we have to write it. So I think I'm gonna have to make another function that does that. But apart from that, it should be fine. Uh, yeah, Low Man said it right as well. There's some benefits to learning how to program for automation stuff. Us new gens coming up, bro. Going from sub 5 to true Adam Watch. Yes, I should make a coding looks maxing course. Um, if file is file, this would have to be an entire shtick on its own. And okay, good to know. Good to know. So we'll just run that. Run that. And then what we want to do is that else, if it's not that, it's probably an image file. So we can just make a directory called images and we can add that there. Tisk. All right, let's look at how the directories are laid out. I don't want to mess things up. So just start by writing simple programs. Yeah. And then once you start adapting, you're probably gonna need some more project ideas. And the way I like to tell people to get project ideas is to be like, hey, find something in your life that pisses you off and use code to fix it. You know what I mean? How many CS classes have I taken? Including or not including high school? That depends, right? So if you include high school, I've taken one, two, three, four CS classes in high school, but they weren't really that complicated of classes. I mean, it was just like basic like your comp sci principles, principles of Java, uh, comp like just AP test stuff, nothing crazy. Um, but apart from that, that's pretty much it. How long? What's the longest time you spent on an error? Probably like a week. The longest time I spent on an error was probably a week, actually. I can probably look at it. It was not necessarily an error that would error out, but rather the issue was that like the drawing system had really bad performance issues. So it was a silent error where like the error was happening, but I didn't know, right? Um, you can probably see in my GitHub graph. I vividly remember that time. This was when I got food poisoning. I think it was around here, like this time period. I was literally like so frustrated, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on there?" But no, but that error was like a secret error, but that's my fault. Cause what happened was that I actually wrote really bad update code, and I actually made it so that the updating of the frame would only happen like every other 3 frames. So it would look like it's lagging, but it's actually not lagging at all. And just literally removing like 2 lines fixed the issue, which is funny. Oh, how you go and skip the fact that you got food poisoning? Oh yeah, that like my coding streak got broken by food poisoning. Like this entire week, I had food poisoning like the night before, and then the entire week I just couldn't code because I was bedridden the entire week. Actually, it was really bad. I low key almost passed out as well. Then I thought I was gonna like perish. That's the amount of dedication it takes, guys. Only illness could stop me. And of course, in June I had to graduate from high school and all that jazz, and I wanted to spend my summer having fun. Uh, I had like leftover beans, so they've probably been in the fridge for longer than I probably should have eaten them for, and I got fucked up by that. What does my app do? My app is called Icarus. It's an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So within the game of Valorant, especially for pro and esports teams, it's really difficult to plan detailed strategies. Why? Because Valorant's a hero shooter. And in a hero shooter, all of the characters have different abilities. For example, there are 16 characters in Valorant, and they all have 4 unique different abilities, right? So, um, and they all have different sizes, different variables, different ways they interact with the map, right? And without having a tool that brings in all that context together and meshes them into one unified note-taking place that also has the context of the game, it's not impossible to take accurate notes within Valorant. And that's exactly what I am doing here. So you have all the abilities on the screen right now. So this ability, if we were to go within the game of Valorant and place it down, it would be one-to-one accurate with how the ability behaves within the game, as well how like its size on the map, right? Really important. And then you can also have like images and stuff for like embedding notes and like text and drawing as well. So yeah. Is this just a hobby project? Yeah, it's just a hobby project. You talking about your project feels like an ad. Yeah, I'm trying my best, bro. Like the moment I go to them like networking events, my picture's gonna be perfect, which is fire. Um, we are Icarus. Am I going to Technica next week? Oh, I forgot about Technica, but they didn't email me. I'm going, definitely. Did I put Technica on my schedule? Hold on. I feel like I did. Let me go out of my schedule. Let's look at the week. Let's go to next week. Did I put Technica on? When is Technica? I feel like I should have put Technica on. Upcoming tasks or events. Technica is not on there. Shit. Noted. Okay, you guys don't know what Technica is. Technica is a hackathon. I am going to be there. So y'all should pull up if you wanna. It's happening there. We'll be there. Probably gonna build some BSS project again. So yeah. uh Wait. Let me put something in my calendar real quick, Jonas. Okay. Wait, actually, let's pitch again. But I don't want to forget about Technica though. All right. Let's pitch again. All right. The app I have on screen right now is called Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to be able to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So within the game of Valorant, whenever you're having esports teams and pro teams, the strategies you make are usually very detailed and granular, right? But there is an issue with that. You're unable to create detailed strategies without having the context of the game. Why? Because Valorant is a hero shooter, and with hero shooters, each of the characters have different abilities, and these abilities have different sizes, different ranges, different constraints, and different ways to behave within the map, right? And without having a tool that brings in all that context together, as well as note-taking tools, it's really difficult to make accurate strategies for the game of Valorant. And that's exactly what this app does. This app brings in all of the context from the game. So for example, there's an ability within the game. If we were to go within the game and check and use this ability, it would behave exactly as it behaves right now on screen, right? And that's what's most important. It also brings it as well the note-taking tools, which is again the images, as you can see on the screen. We have some text right here as well, and you also have drawing. So that's pretty much it. Bro, skip the ad. Now you gotta buy TikTok Premium. Subscribe to my like TikTok Patreon, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Send me 3 roses and I'll skip. Send me 3 roses and I'll skip the ad. That's the meta. Thanks for the follow, Tevin. All right, let's look at this. Hopefully I'm not ignoring YouTube chat too much. I don't think there's anybody on YouTube. In fact, that's crazy work. Alrighty, let's go back. All right, I gotta put Technica on my calendar so I don't forget about Technica. So let's go. November 15th. It's gonna be Technica. November 15th to 16th, I think. There's gonna be an event. We're gonna do that, and that should be fine. Now this month, where's Technica? I don't fucking know. Let's see. Should be on my calendar now, no? Scheduled. No. Using this is kind of difficult. They need to fix this. While I code, I'm gonna do my own thing with the PS3 WW. Next ad? I don't have an ad next, actually. I want to look at my week, rather. And then week 47, which would be... It's not showing up here, is it? Let's see. Today, inbox. Blah, blah. Okay. Next week, Sunday 14th. When is Technica? Technica is on a Saturday, right? Saturday at Marriott College Park. Hybrid environment. All right. Oh, Technica's been happening for 11 years. Crazy work. Who's Icarus? Icarus is the guy who fell from the heavens because he wanted to use his leaves and fly up to the sun because he was stupid, and then he fell and he died. That's exactly what happened. I sent 9 roses. Give me a pitch. All right. Okay. Like the guy from Fortnite? Yeah, the guy from Fortnite. All right. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to play strategies inside of the game, outside of the game, right? So within the game of Valorant, there are many different abilities and different contexts and different things you can use, right? And without having a tool that brings that context from inside the game, outside of the game, and allows you to plan those detailed strategies with those abilities and their sizes and their ranges and the way that like they behave on different maps, it's quite difficult, right? So you can see all the abilities are here. So if we were to take this ability and you were to go into the game, this is exactly how it would behave within the game of Valorant. And that's really important. It also brings in other tools like drawing, adding images, adding text, and sequences as well. I low-key forget to like advertise sequences. I just added it. It's not within my pitch yet. Flex the gonial angle, brother. Oh wait. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hold on, John. What's happening or confused? I'm doing a mapping a game. Yeah, I'm building a tool to bring in all the game context to allow pro esports teams to create strategies for their teams to use together, right? So that's what I'm doing. Um, but pitch again, Prince. He doesn't know. Okay, okay. Pitch number 10 or something. I don't fucking know. I'm working on Icarus. Icarus is an open source Valorant strategy creator. It's a tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So when you want to plan game strategies in the game of Valorant, especially for your esports team or pro teams, the strategies you're planning are very detailed and complex. And it's very hard to make detailed and complex strategies for Valorant without having in-game data. Why? Because Valorant's a hero shooter. And in hero shooters, you have characters with like 4 different abilities, right? So each character has 4 different abilities, and there's 16 characters. And each of these abilities behave in different ways, have different sizes, have different constraints, and have different ways they function in every map, right? And without having a tool that brings in all that context together, it's really difficult to create strategies for Valorant. And that's exactly what this is. So this brings all of the abilities within the game, all of the characters, as well as adds tools like adding images, taking notes with text, and like drawing different stuff, right? And creating scenarios with pages, right? Brings all ideas together and makes a good tool for people who want to like plan strategies for the team, be able to do that, right? I know your mouth is dry now. Yes, I need water. Have I finished any other project? Yes, I have. Let me go to my GitHub real quick. Of course, I have multiple throwaway projects that I've never finished, but my finished projects are gonna be my note-taking app, which is the first one I built. Cloud Firebase note-taking app 3 years ago. I haven't touched that shit forever, right? And there is the grade calculator for my school system. A bunch of people still use it right now since like again, my school system refuses to build an actual tool to let people calculate their grades instead of having an Excel sheet. So yeah. um, Icarus is one I'm working on. It's not finished right now, so yeah, it's not a finished tool. Another one I made was LinkedIn. I haven't like really promoted this too much. I probably should. It's a tool to allow people to plan Valorant, like not Valorant strategies. What am I doing? I'm confusing my projects to make LinkedIn banners, and like make custom ones. I have one on my actual LinkedIn profile. If you go to my profile on LinkedIn, it says, what is it? Hashtag locked in. Also, this is my goat, by the way. She does TED Talks. I actually met her IRL. I gotta comment on that post. Anyways, hashtag locked in. All that stuff. I low-key gotta change my LinkedIn profile because I really did ascend. I gotta change it. But I don't have time for that. This is like the Walmart. This is like in Walmart. You guys have those. Is your bill high, people? LinkedIn stars too similar pre-lawsuit. That's the reason why I actually made it that because I wanted to make it play off LinkedIn. That's actually why I named it that. Literally exactly. What are they gonna sue me for? For making a tool to let people make custom LinkedIn banners? It's literally for your thing. I'm driving traffic towards your site, twin. Anyways, uh, let's see what we're getting on with. Um, I can probably promote it on Twitter. That would be really easy to promote on Twitter. I gotta get my Twitter arc back on. But look here, I'm good off Twitter. LinkedIn wouldn't fuck with you, bro. What do you mean? I'm a LinkedIn legend. I'm a legend on LinkedIn. On the streets of LinkedIn, don't ever say my name. Cause I am a legend. I'm a freaking legend. Let's see. Look at this. Nobody moves like I do on LinkedIn. Nobody moves like I do on LinkedIn. I move like a monster. Yo, how's it going, you day? Um, can you see the gift? Oh, wait, oh my god, you sent the roses. Yeah, it doesn't give me a notification. It doesn't give me a notification when gifts happen, which kind of sucks. I don't know. Like, there should be an auditory notification for gifts, but it's not. Let me see. Let me check my LinkedIn DMs because sometimes some people decide that LinkedIn DMs is the best way to contact me, which in fact it is not. I don't use LinkedIn DMs, chat. What was my average in high school? My GPA? You mean? Or my average what? Oh, it's just ads. Okay, not necessary. You're awesome, cat. Oh my God. Wait. Oh, thank you so much. I think I'm gonna become rich off this. I'm gonna actually buy a house and like have a multiple penthouses. My GPA was a 3.5, I believe. So not crazy. Not uh too out of order, I would say. Pretty mid. I never met Brandon before. I'll hit him up though. And Emma, well, that's marketing. I don't care that much. Um, 44 of them. Hey, don't use it. Don't use it all at once. I'll try not to, man. I'll try not to. Um, what do you do? I'm a mobile engineer. I create applications whenever I want to, rather. I just build my bio and everything is that I make things, right? I don't have a certain like thing I do in general. I just like find problems that I want to fix and I just go ahead and do that, right? And what I'm working on right now is like a Windows application. It's called Icarus. It's an open source Valorant strategy tool to allow Valorant players to plan strategies inside of the game, outside of the game. So when you're an esports team in Valorant, when you want to create a strategy, right? You need to be able to create very detailed strategies. And without having context of the game, you can't do that. Why? Because Valorant's a hero shooter. And in hero shooter, all of the characters have different abilities. So for example, in Valorant, each character has 4 different abilities, right? Wait, I might see you at Amazon this summer? Hold on. Wait, that actually be late. Okay, sorry. My pitch got interrupted. Hold on. Hold on. Wait, that actually might be peak. That actually might be peak. Wait, okay. I got to interrupt my pitch. Okay, sorry. Let's people plan strategies together, right? And puts all the in-game data. So for example, this ability, you see it's what is it? You see wait. You see like this if we were to go within the game of Valorant, this ability would be 1-for-1. And you can see how impactful this can be for pro teams. So they can be like, hey, you use your ability here and you the other guy do that blah 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 and coordinate and go together and move in or whatever, and you can show this to your players and they can all understand what's going on visually without having for having you to like explain stuff and send them videos and all that stuff, right? Very useful. um what's the hackathon I have? Yeah, it's called Hack the Nest. It's the largest high school hackathon on the East Coast. Well, okay, the East Coast, the DMV area on the East Coast, which would be like Washington, Virginia, and Maryland. So that's pretty huge. That's a pretty huge part of the East Coast. I would say so myself. How tall is Dara? I'm about like 6 foot. Like I'm about 6 foot. 6'5"? Nah. Maybe 6'7". I can't attend. Show mass some love. When we get more funding, we can fly people out. Last year we had, well, this year would be, we had Solana come in. They gave us like a bunch of money. I think they gave us like 6K or some shit. So yeah, it was pretty fire. Um, I'm 5'3", but you're still growing, bro. You're still growing. Everybody, like, don't worry. You still got time. But hopefully your Amazon interview goes fire. If you can say it, you need a referral. I just be like, yeah, you know a guy or two. Let me know about sponsoring though. I just raised another 10. I can definitely support. Oh, definitely. You don't even have to give us money low key, because you coming and like doing a workshop as well could also be fire if you think about it. So it doesn't really matter. I'll hit you up when we need sponsors. And yeah, well, we're already like looking for sponsors right now. So low key, I'm gonna just send you a contact low key. Let's see. I'll DM you the Discord server and then we can go from there. Dara hype mogs me. It's alright, man. Like height. You're not old yet. You're not old yet. It's not permanent yet. Okay? You still got time to grow. Well, okay, let's see. What am I even trying to do here? Yes, if it's, oh wait, I want to write it to file now. Okay, I want to first of all, I want to create a strategy folder based on that. So how about this? New ID should happen way ahead of here. New ID should happen here. And then you take this LTN problems. You're not LTN, boy. As long as you know how to program, you easily ascend to HTN. Coding is the key to ascend to HTN, actually. All right, let's look at this. Await directory. So we want to create. Okay. So final image directory. Let's go to image provider. Image provider, and then we can go from there. Yo, Dara, I forgot to tell you the thing we did at Hop Hacks is getting presented in Europe. Whoa! Wait! Hold on. Maybe we cooked. Maybe yes, we, as in me and you. No, I'm trolling. Maybe we cooked. Yo, Dara, explain class, and then is class better than functions? Okay, so the way classes work, our classes are based off the object model. A class is an object, right? I'm presenting at a conference, Czech Republic. I might have to get your name on the paper. Yes, put my name on the paper, and I'm gonna post it on LinkedIn. And be like, yeah, I got featured in an article. I was like, I just be doing stuff like that, multi-talented, diverse, beautiful, smart, okay, intelligent. I'm a stuff to glaze, but yeah. All right. So a class, right? A class is an object structure, right? An object can take many different types of data. So let me low-key go to my easiest class to look at, which is probably folder provider. This is probably the easiest class to look at. Oh, it's probably not the easiest class to look at. Hold on. Maximize. Actually, no, let's make it almost max. Almost max. That's better. All right. Okay. Y'all can see this now. I'm on an airplane right now. Like, bro's traveling a lot, getting flown out multiple places. Okay. Let's see this. Yeah. So a class is an object structure, right? And it has like stuff like strings, data you can put within the class. So like just base data. And then you have functions you can also have within the class. This class has a function called get is root, and all it does is that it checks, okay, if the parent ID is null, then is root is true. So this is like a short like function I wrote within like the syntax. Initially, if I was gonna write it, it would be bool is root, and then I would have to do this, and I would do this, and I'd be like, hey, if parent ID blah 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 equals null, return is root, right? But I just did that in one line right there. Damn, I'm trying to get like you, uncle. What's the method? Nah, you didn't use the method, bro. Gesture max on TikTok so people feel bad and follow you. Exactly. That's literally what I've been doing, bro. What about using classes to replace functions? You can't use classes to replace functions. Think of classes as a way to store a bunch of data about one object in a place where you can access it. You can also write functions within classes, right? So a lot of the time when this makes sense is when you have objects you want to, not oriented programming, when you want to have objects you can perform actions on. For example, you can say, let me see if I have any apart from this. This is mostly like just storing stuff. Let me see if I have any good examples of this. Placed classes, for example. Yeah, placed classes. This should be fine. Let's look at the main abstract class, right? This is the main class for placing objects, right? For objects. So I have functions within this object. This object is just like whatever the widgets you see on screen. All of these are placed widgets, right? So this is the object for them, right? Now, whenever I want to move a ability, whatever, I call the update position function. So the update position function adds action history, make sure they can do back and forth, right? And then it updates the position of the place widget class. So the position that's here, the position value I have here, it updates it. All right, man. I see your flight getting ready to dip. Yeah, keep up the good work, man. See you too. You too. You too. You're my goat. All right. How would I feel first learning how to code? Honestly, confused and excited at the same time. Confused because I was just copying stuff from tutorial, but excited because I could actually do stuff. For example, I was building video games, right? I was making Roblox games. I could actually like make little Roblox like thingies, like making a block move or whatever, stuff that I couldn't even imagine doing before. So like, just like the the knowledge, like the fact that hey, I'm getting better and I can potentially build something big one day was really really exciting for me. Is this my job or just for fun? Blah, blah, blah. I'm not earning anything right now because again, my internship is gonna be next summer and I'm gonna be getting paid for this. Quite a lot of money, I would say. But right now the project I'm working on is my hobby. I do it in my free time. I'm a student at the end of the day. Gotta go to class, gotta do all that shit, right? Um, but yeah. Uh, why do people not recommend Node.js or Express for larger projects or complex backends? I actually don't know. I wonder why. This is something I should check. Let's look at this. Let's ask GPT and figure that out. Why do people not recommend Node.js and what else did he say? Express for large apps or more complex backends. I would love to know why as well. JavaScript runtime, IO heavy, uh, single threaded event loop architecture, like video processing. Okay, lack of strong typing. That is true as well. Micro framework nature of Express, minimal. That's a double-edged sword. It's fine. Performance and concurrency. Struggle raw input throughput. That makes sense as well. Developer tooling and scaling strategy. Multiple smaller services and microservices to keep performance predictable. So that exactly what GPT said. No, bro, no chat GPT. Well, I didn't know the answer. I was just like looking, doing research. You might be generally the first programmer I can see who can't type accurately without looking. LARP City. Okay, you know what I had to go through? I actually am still in recovery. Back in 2020, I used to type with chicken fingers. I used to type with 2 fingers. Okay? I actually had to go back and self-recover and actually learn how to type by touch typing. I had to learn touch typing, bro. Don't hate on me. Don't hate on me. I'm learning TypeScript. How do I get better to build projects? I would say just build projects. Like genuinely. Also try to try to learn like design patterns and see how people do stuff. I guess the best way would just look at the architecture, look at like the entire space. Just start watching a bunch of JS TypeScript YouTubers and listen to what they talk about, what problems they talk about, how stuff should be built. I would say Primogen is just a good like guide to watch. For example, just knowing programming principles because he reads articles that introduce ideas and introduce topics and like teach you like the more of the mental side of being a dev rather than hey just know this and type that. You know what I mean, right? So yeah. Uh, on their resume, but if you ask the question, they don't know. I'm a bit confused. What do you say? But I personally use Node.js and Express, but I just seen it around Reddit. I mean, Reddit is the thing is like the programming hive mind. A lot of people like to do agenda pushing. It's the same thing with the anime community, bro. They don't really care about the actual facts. Everybody is just trying to push their agenda, right? The Rust people are saying Rust is the GOAT. Everything should be written in Rust. Just like in JJK, people are saying Megumin is a bum. Or Sukuna actually beat Gojo fair and square, right? It's all agenda pushing, and like in One Piece, Oda is not a reliable source. Example, the docs are not a reliable source. People like to agenda push and like not actually take the base facts of languages and working with them just because like they just don't like it. And that's it. Uh That's the clip I'm gonna use. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna post that clip. Trying to get some anime communities in here as well. Bloop, 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 bloop. How's it going, chat? Nice, nice, nice. Is Curtis in here? Wait, is that? Oh, that's Curtis. I'm going to Technica. I should probably tell him. Bloop, 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 bloop. All right, let's see. What are we looking for? Oh yeah, I'm trying to add folders. No. Okay. I want to go to image provider. And how am I doing this entire in right here? Compute file path. We're doing this, and then if it exists, create the directory recursive. And of course, I want to just do this. I want to take this. I want to take a method that's static create image image folder. We can just go this, copy there, and then we can. I don't think. Well, never mind. I'm reading too much into this. Let's go here and let's do just that. Thanks for the follow, fourth. Oh, I reached my follow goal. Oh shit, we have 1,400 followers, guys. Yippee! Nice. All right, time to move the goalpost once again. It's never gonna be enough. It's never gonna be enough. 500. 1.5 chat. All right, now the goalpost has been moved. Yeah, that's such a big goal for me, bro. That's actually crazy. I'm really happy. Like sometimes I low-key forget that followers increase like every time somebody follows, and I'm like, wow, I'm already there already. That's really nice. String strategy to GID. We tap that in. Let's fucking go, yeah. Should I do like those like follow challenges? Like when I hit 2K followers, I'll buy a house or some shit. I don't fucking know. All right, final. Let's just do this entire thing and await. Custom directory exists. Recursive true. So boop. And then create image directories folder. And then we do this as well. Create image directories folder and then this is image path. Of course, this is image ID. So we actually just want to return image. Want to return this. Return images directory. And we probably just want the directory itself. Dara, try not to LARP challenge, level impossible. Yes, I accept it. I am a LARPer. Future directory. Directory. Boom. Return. Boom. Nice. So now we have a create image folder and it returns. How about this? We could probably do like get image folder. Image folder as well. Probably better than create image folder, honestly. And then we can be like, hey, final image folder is going to be equal blah blah blah. Image provider get image folder. And then I can low-key do this above everything and just plop this right here. And then of course it's gonna be mad at me. I think I use it as, how do I do image provider stuff again? Do I have to import this? Boop, boop, boop. Let me scroll up. How am I doing it? As place image provider. All right, let's go here. Placed image provider dot placed I low key, it's just fine. Placed there. Now that isn't defined, that's fine as well. 100 Daras versus a Python calculator. Boy, I've created my own calculator. Let's do this. Okay, let's steal this right here. We like stealing. And we want to just go on here. Just plop it down right here. And now we can do this, which is the get place image provider. What is that referring to? Image provider dot dart as place image provider. So it actually be image provider dot. I can't spell for shit, right? Dot get image folder. Boom. Nice, and that's the ID. Now we have the image folder. Now we can just do this, and it'll literally be this. Await. What is add image again? Let me just go to this. F add image. X file. We take the file. We get the file extension. We save secure image. Oh, that is such a fucking pain. Because we need the file extension as well, right? Oh, blah, 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 blah. I hate this world. So this can't be done without having... You know what? I'm just gonna pause this implementation as I'm going. What's your resume looking like for you to get your internship? Did you mainly have experience or projects? I mainly had projects because again I was in high school, so I didn't really have a way to quote unquote get experience. I did have experience from again doing freelance web development. I made websites for people using WordPress, and I made like probably like 1K off of that. That was pretty fire. Apart from that, I had projects with a bunch of users as well. I think my grade calculator app had about like 500 users, and my current application has about like 1,000 users right now. So all of that was pretty fire. Also, my GitHub graph was probably insane. I also had a PR to the Flutter repo as well, and I also had LinkedIn clout as well. So I was everywhere, honestly. I try to say, so yeah. Basically. No, he LARPed on projects. All right. All right. So I'm gonna just clear up the LARPing accusations right now. If I was gonna LARP, I would be a professional LARPer. I don't do anything average. If I'm gonna LARP, I'm gonna LARP like a pro. Does it look like I'm LARPing like a pro right now? Got you. And goodbye. Yeah, parties for users are the best. Yeah, that's how I was able to get like all my stuff. He's stealing his projects from a guy named Dara, and this guy's name is D space Ara. Trust me, he's a professional LARPer. Man, this is his LARP cope, I think. This is actually LARP cope. Alright, chat, I'm gonna go eat. So I'm gonna end stream in like 2 minutes. So if y'all have any things you want to say, any last lingering questions, I'm gonna stay and answer them. How will you say you know DevOps? I mean, not too much. I mean, at the end of the day, I do make stuff, I do produce stuff, so I know how like DevOps works entirely, but I'm not like a really deep integrated with that because again, I haven't worked in a company, and that's just like this baggage that comes with just being in a company. At least part of the baggage. Bro, I'm hungry, bro. I've been streaming for 4 hours. Holy crap. So yeah, I gotta go eat. A man's gotta go eat. And also I gotta recover from going to the gym, bro. I had legs today, and I absolutely demolished my legs. Dude. Sure. All right, man. Thanks for answering the questions. Best of luck in your new role. Thank you, man. Do I code every day? Yes, I try to. Actually, you can see my GitHub graph, so you can know this is what my consistency looks like. Of course, some of the off days I actually did code, but I just didn't contribute. So yeah. But this period, I wasn't really coding much because I was trying to enjoy life for a bit. My last summer before college, so yeah. Uh, but yeah, pretty much it. Do I have okay, little man? I'm gonna have you stop false accusations in my chat, okay? False accusations. You're levying false accusations against me. How's it going, admin? Du, 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 du. Alrighty. Let me make sure I'm doing well on every. Best way to enjoy coding is to work on something you love. That's the best way to enjoy coding. Because if you actually give a fuck about what you're creating, it's gonna feel way more easier to be consistent with it, right? Trust me, bro. Dara is not a reliable source on his character. Yes, I am not a. More often than not, people are not a reliable source in themselves. So you might be speaking some level of facts. There might be some facts in your accusations. Yeah, but apart from that, I'm good, y'all. Good stream today. Love talking with y'all. Got a lot of progress done on Icarus, and probably not a lot of progress as well. I was expecting to finish this feature today. Did not finish it today. So we'll see y'all on when should I stream? Probably on Monday. Cause I'm gonna not be like over the weekend. I'm gonna be out. I'm gonna be home. I'm gonna have a PC. So yeah. Probably on Monday. We'll see y'all. Alright, toodles. Oh my gosh, that was quite the doozy. Alright, YouTube, I will see you as well.